With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma.
Wicked. Look, I know, this visual isn't pleasant for either of us, but I had to verify that this thing can cut, and cut it does indeed. It's especially great if you grow patchy bushes like I do in the most visible areas. But let's be real, it's for this. And with a 7,000 RPM blade combined with that built-in light, their skin-safe ceramic blades help reduce the chances of nicking yourself. Basically, as long as you go slow and steady, you'll be fine. Unless you're into this, then you do you. If you have really shaky hands, they do include a guard that ensures the blade and your sensitive areas, both physically and emotionally, stay socially distanced. Plus, when you're done, it's waterproof too, making it one of the easiest trimmers to maintain, but that also means bath time just became a little more adventurous. Now, the trimmer itself may be mistaken as another vibrating tool with its ribbed and textured surface, but turns out an eggplant is just very ergonomic too. Oh, it also includes a dedicated charging dock that uses USB, so it makes traveling with this a breeze. Lastly, the blades are removable, which you can subscribe to get new blades sent to you every 3 months. Unless you're pretty hairless like I am, in which case the included blade is more than enough. As an all-in-one kit though, you've also got goodies for after you shave, like a deodorant for your balls. Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean it's not there. And I can confirm that this one does smell like a new car. Or, you know, whatever else is manly. Then for the times after shaving, when it can get a little uncomfortable, there's the Crop Reviver Ball Toner, which I can only describe as like a breath mint, but for down under. Honestly, just keep this in your bag and you'll thank me later. A new addition to this kit though is the Weed Whacker. It's got all the greatness of the lawnmower, but designed for the hair hiding in smaller parts of your body. Your nose, your ear, your wherever, as it still includes their skin safe tech, so it's one less thing you have to worry about when sticking it into any of your holes. Finally, they really didn't skimp on the all-in-one aspect. A free storage bag is included with the kit. It's got this pebbled leather look. To top it all off, because it just makes sense, they also throw in a free pair of boxers. And all I can say about this is it's really damn soft. Stretchy too if you need the space. But like I said, a perfect gift for your kid entering adulthood or your boyfriend who hasn't gotten off the sofa since buying the PS5. You'll be doing yourself a favor.
With the 35th pick in the 2018.
Hey, I think we figured out our video problems. Anybody wants to give us a little word in the chat, make sure we're back.
The thing is, I think we lost our whole chat from the first stream that we had running, so
we got to pick everybody back up.
But you guys are all amazing out there, so just jump into this one and let's go. Yep. We got some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, so while we were away, 4th pick in the draft, Atlanta Falcons took tight end, hybrid, I'd say, Kyle Pitts.
Yes, tight end, we'll just call him athlete.
Yes.
Freak athlete.
So, okay, it looks like we're back. Chat's saying they can see us now. Hey, thanks for being with us. Spread the word. We are back. It seems like we got all the technical difficulties figured out. We appreciate you guys hanging tight with us. First time we've ever done on location. So, we're working out the kinks.
That's right. It's all good.
Obviously, right before we went out, the Niners selected Trey Lance at 3. We got to get into that. And then, like you just said, the Falcons picked at 4. They picked Pitts. Looks like they're probably going to stick with Matt Ryan, at least for this year.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle Pitts is not a slouch, not a bad pick. What is up with this Trey Lance stuff, guys?
So, I've heard for weeks now that he had the most upside of a quarterback in this draft, but he would need developed.
Does that mean Jimmy G's sticking around?
I think definitely Jimmy G's sticking around.
Yeah.
Sticking around, and like I said, you play him until he gets hurt. If time, tells you what's going to happen, he's going to get hurt again. So you play until he gets hurt. Then you got a nice, young, athletic rookie quarterback to take over. And I think that in a Kyle Shanahan system, that could cause some problems for teams because that gives him an aspect to the game that he's really never gotten to use before.
Maybe I'm crazy. You do not give up what they gave up to move up that far to select a quarterback to not play him.
No.
There's no way he's not playing.
PFF has him. I'm not going to look at 2020. He played one game, but they gave him a 90.7 grade in 2019. He had 2,788 yards. He threw for 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but Justin Fields in 2019 threw, and I'm going off memory here, I think it was something around like 44 and 3 or something like that. So I don't know, man. I do know Fields had higher grades in 2019 than what Trey Lance is showing here.
Yeah, so this guy can throw the deep ball. He's a big guy. He's got a tight end type build and athleticism. He's comparison to Taysom Hill with good arm talent.
But is that number 3 worthy?
I don't know if that's number 3 worthy.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Where were they picking before they traded up?
12.
Did they
traded with Miami.
Here's the thing. Did they even need to move up at all to get him?
I think you'd have to move up to like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes it past Carolina, Denver. I don't think he makes it past that stretch.
Yeah,
so, I mean, they gave up a ton to go all the way up
All
to
right, so
3, though.
let me just talk about some grades real quick. So overall passing grade, Justin Fields, 92. Trey Lance, 58. Okay, intermediate grade, 94.5 for Justin Fields, 72.5 for Trey Lance. Let's just go down to the deep grade. 96.1 grade for Justin Fields. Deep grade for Trey Lance, 58.8. What am I missing here?
No, and I mean, it's not like he was playing against great competition. And I just got a notification up here from PFF who the Bengals just selected. We'll wait for them to. I don't think they've announced it on TV yet, but this will be, I don't know what Bengals fans are going to think about this pick if it is what I think it was that just showed up on PFF.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I think with the Trey Lance, you're taking a chance on a guy, but there's a lot of hype. He comes out of the same college as Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, kind of like Carson was. It'll be interesting to see him in that system and what they do.
I think for the most part, any of those top 5 guys in that system with Kyle Shanahan, who I don't know how you guys feel about Kyle Shanahan. I feel like he is offensive guru. He's a great coach.
Year in and year out, too. He's not a one-hit wonder
right. It's
like
not
some of these guys you
trick
see.
pony stuff. He's excellent.
So it just makes me wonder then, what was all the Mac Jones talk?
Smoke.
Could have been.
Bro.
Smoke
So
and
then-
mirrors.
So then where does Mac Jones actually go?
15.
15 maybe.
Yep.
Or if New England jumps up to get him at 8 or 9.
Does New England want him? I heard about them trying to jump up to take Fields.
I heard them trying to take Jimmy G.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
trying to
mean,
trade for him.
this is why we love draft night.
Yeah.
Stuff like this. And then let's get in a little bit of Kyle Pitts. With that selection, that means Matt Ryan sticks around.
Yep.
He's sticking around, and man, does he got some weapons to deal that he's got at his repertoire there. He's got Julio Jones, who I know has kind of been banged up, but he's still Julio Jones.
He's a stud. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley's taken over as I think the number 1 down there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's legit. Now you add Kyle Pitts, and they signed Mike Davis, who was a decent running back for Carolina.
Absolutely.
In Christian McCaffrey's absence.
He'll be a good backup behind Najee Harris
I can't think who's
You
the
think
tight
so?
end.
or ETN.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Who's the tight end too that was with Baltimore? I can't think of his name.
Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst.
He's a stud.
Yeah, so they got 2 good tight ends down there now. I think we can agree their offense wasn't really the problem coming into this year. It was
No.
more the defensive side. So
Yeah.
they're really
And
going to have to
coaching.
focus. They're going to have to focus on that.
Yeah.
But now we got Cincinnati. Pick is in.
Blake already knows what it is, but he won't tell
Yeah.
us.
Jake,
I know what it is.
Blake knows the pick. We got Goodell at the podium. We're a little bit delayed here on the podcast.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase,
And we
okay.
talked
I
about
don't think
this.
it's that crazy.
It's not crazy, but
So I told you. I
There's
tried
rapport
saying
there. There's rapport.
Me and
but
Mel
man,
Kiper.
You need an offensive line. I don't
Yeah.
care. You need. I mean, it is.
well, look at Cleveland. I mean, yeah, we traded for Odell, but our O-line was the worst in the league. So
And also
Baker was
from
terrible.
6-10.
Yeah. No, I
I like.
Good for you, Bengals. You're gonna have all
I
these
say I
flashy
kind
toys.
of like this pick for us because yeah, great. Okay, you got the stud receiver out of this draft, or at least who's the consensus top stud. But
Man, I mean,
Who's blocking?
I think this is their skill positions are loaded.
Crazy.
Defensively, they've gotten a lot better. Offensive line, they're going to have to focus on that. But hey, later in this draft, I think now we know where they're going. Here's the thing: I know this. Penny Sewell, and there's one other guy that was a big lineman in here in the top 10 that they were thinking.
the guy out of Northwestern,
Yes. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
yeah, Slayton or something like that. I can't remember either.
But yes, I think you're right. I think it's Slater.
Yeah, there it is.
So that could have went here. I think that they'll get a lineman later on. Jamar Chase, there wasn't another Jamar Chase. I mean, later in the draft that you were going to get. So they get their guy. They get the guy that Joe Burrow likes.
Right. But now,
and it works.
Familiar.
Now, Jamar Chase hasn't played football in over a year, though.
This is
And
true.
I get it. He's young. He's a athlete who's kept himself in shape. But there's always that risk when a guy takes a year off of football, whether it be for personal reasons or injury or whatever. There's always that added risk of, is he the same player?
A guy on YouTube, I'm going to quote him here. I guess the Bengals forgot that their QB got the shit beat out of them last season.
Dave V in the comments, I agree with you there that they're going to get their lineman in that second round.
Man.
Yeah.
Also, I saw Dave comment this. Do you guys think Justin Fields is being negatively affected by the fact that Dwayne Haskins is atrocious?
Yes,
Yes,
I think so.
absolutely.
I think it's a Dwayne Haskins, Terrell Pryor
yep.
type of situation.
Troy Smith.
Let's
Let's keep it going. I mean, we could go.
Braxton Miller.
Yeah, we could keep it going for a while.
Braxton Miller never went into
Cardell
I know, but he
Jones.
did play. Yeah, Cardell Jones, but he did play quarterback at Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's that negative connotation of that
I
Ohio
completely
State
agree with you.
quarterback is not a good pro quarterback.
I think you can look at Fields, though. A lot of these Ohio State quarterbacks were great athletes at the quarterback position. Justin Fields is a great quarterback that happens to be athletic.
Yes, that's a good way to put that.
You know what I mean? He can actually throw. DF wants to know how we want him to come on whenever it's time. If you just want to hop in your car and drive to Dover, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
We'll bring you in here shortly.
So,
Probably crazy too is the farther that Justin Fields falls, he's ending up in a better situation. If I'm Justin Fields,
yeah.
so I'm losing some money, which that sucks.
But he's still going to make.
Absolutely. I completely. You're falling. The farther you fall to a better situation, long term.
Yes.
So.
You don't. If you're a quarterback, you almost don't want to be picked. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
because it's an uphill battle.
Yep. And all our Ravens lovers out there, how would Lamar Jackson have done at the top of that draft? New York.
Yeah,
he would have sucked.
Cleveland.
No, yeah, he
falls
situation.
all the way to the end, and the Ravens pick him.
Yep, and it's a perfect situation for him. We might have our thoughts on whether he can throw or not, but at the end of the day, he makes them extremely dangerous.
yes.
Rick says, I think Myles Garrett is okay with the Chase pick. I think so, too.
Yeah, so now we got the Dolphins, one of the more exciting teams in the NFL, last couple years, getting better.
I'm going to go make a pick. You guys
go ahead.
entertain these guys
Yep,
on
got it.
Yeah,
So
You're going to get up in midstream.
here,
Yeah.
we're here in the number 6 spot. I think that they're going wide receiver to get somebody, if Tua's going to be their guy, they got to have some more weapons. Devontae Parker, not bad, but is he a number 1, go-to type guy?
There's another Devontae guy.
There's a Devontae Smith, and then there's a Jalen Waddle, and they just happen to both play for Alabama.
Yeah. And
in
they're
their
both
college
really
career. So this pick here, I think, is going to be one of those guys. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go Waddle. I'm going to say Waddle over the Heisman winner Smith.
There's a size discrepancy there that Smith keeps getting, knocked for his size.
Yep.
Now, he's an extraordinary athlete, great receiver, but Jalen, you got to remember, Dave, everybody says, he was the Heisman winner. Jalen Waddle was the number 1 on that team.
Yes, before. And then he got hurt. Yeah.
How? Here's the thing: is you got Penny Sewell just kind of sliding now.
Yeah.
He's very good. It wouldn't shock me at all if they took him there.
I could see
They
that.
traded went Tunsil away to Houston.
Yeah, ton on.
Yep.
Some of the guys that are down there with Tua, he's got now Jacoby Brissett as a backup down in Miami. You got Devontae Parker as one of the top wide receivers with Will Fuller, who's also there. They
Juiced up.
got Lynn Bowden Jr. as well, a rookie, from I think last year's draft.
Yeah, last year.
Who didn't work out for the Raiders.
I say they
right?
got
They
drafted
cut
by
him.
the Raiders.
He ended up getting cut.
He got traded.
Traded,
Yeah.
okay. But I could just see him going, if the trend follows, Burrow, hey, we got you your guy. Tua, are we going to get you yours? I think it'll be interesting to see.
It wouldn't shock me. It's not if they take.
They need weapons. That's the thing. If you're going all in on Tua, which, at this point they kind of have to.
Yeah.
You've got to surround them. You're seeing that with all these other teams.
Because their defense is legit. Their defense is great.
Yeah. Well,
Defense,
look at like the New York Giants. They're doing kind of the same thing. Like, hey, we spent a high pick on Daniel Jones. He hasn't been all that great. Our defense isn't too bad. Let's just start bringing in talent. Just hope to God he can do something.
It's great. I know we're going off topic with the Giants, but they've got talent on the offensive side, like stupid
yes.
amount of talent. And then they just picked up
Coaching is a big issue there.
Yeah, who'd they pick up from Detroit? The wide receiver,
Kenny Galladay.
Kenny
Oh,
Galladay.
here comes the Dolphins pick.
All right, Dolphins. I'm going Waddle. I think it's going to be Waddle.
I'm gonna say Penny Sewell.
Penny Sewell.
Yeah.
And it is
Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle.
Attaboy.
I just him and Tua. He really shined with Tua, and then coming into this year, like Josh said, he's supposed to be that number one guy. He just got injured, and then Devontae Smith just took off and was unguardable.
Yeah.
I think both guys are going to be good in the NFL. They're both burners, going to beat you over the top, and have that speed that on a slant route they could just go. They could get the ball and just go. So, I mean, this is just a good pick for Tua, and I think this shows that they're investing in him.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's what this pick is.
I think Justin Fields, his fall is going to end right now.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
They have Jared Goff sitting there. I don't.
So we have the Detroit Lions on the clock.
But that's the thing. They got Jared Goff, but they could turn around and trade him if they need to.
They could, but I think they take Devontae Smith.
Jared Goff is not your long-term.
He's young.
You don't know that, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's young.
Jared Goff's young.
I just have not been hearing the type of stuff that makes me think they're in love with him.
Why did they trade for him then?
Yeah, Stafford wanted out. I think.
Okay, they could have got somebody they like.
Yeah, or traded. I mean, there's been a lot of open time to just make that.
I'm not saying
he might not be the guy, but I think they're at least going to give him a chance. When he was with LA, he showed glimpses that he could be the guy.
The duel, him and the duel with Patrick Mahomes in that game was awesome.
Crazy.
That was a good game.
That was an awesome game, back and forth. I think Goff could be the guy, but they have to make a big decision right here at this pick.
Yeah.
Now that Waddle's gone, I think Devontae Smith has got to be your guy here, Detroit, because you lost Galladay, you lost Marvin Jones. You can't trade for a guy like Jared Goff and not give him anybody to throw to. I think that you got to go with Devontae Smith here at 7 and fill one of your biggest needs on offense.
And I know I said Justin Fields, but I mean, they don't have any receivers.
None.
That's
because
what I was just going to look. I wanted to look up their depth chart.
They've got,
you got it?
Quintez Cephas.
Oh.
That's like their number one. They brought in somebody. Who was it in free agency here?
Was it Tyrell Williams?
I think it was.
Okay.
Tyrell Williams.
I was
going to say, I'm looking it up here.
That off, because
you were very loosely correct. I very loosely believe.
Okay.
Lions pick is already.
So you got Tyrell Williams. They also brought in Brashad Perryman.
Okay.
So two, proven guys, vets.
Well, and still trying to prove it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you got to go Devontae Smith. You got to buy in.
I agree with you.
Running back wise, they have DeAndre Swift, who kind of turned it on. It was a little struggle at the beginning of the year last year, but towards the end,
because their coach.
Because they wanted giving it to old man Peterson a little bit too much. But you got not only do they have DeAndre Swift, they also brought in Jamal Williams from Green Bay.
That's right, they did.
So, if you can add a Devontae Smith to this type of a lineup, I mean, you could be seeing some big things. Take a little pressure off of Jared Goff.
Yeah, I always feel bad. My roommate in college was a diehard Lions fan.
That sucks.
But it was always back. That was back in the day whenever they went 0-16, and the Browns weren't any good then either.
And this
Sunday mornings were always great. We're like, all right, let's just see what the 4:00 game is.
And this is another
pretty hungover just watching. I'd go down to Josh's apartment on the weekends, and I'd be like, I'm going to stay Saturday and come home Sunday, and then I'd watch the 1:00 game. Like, I'll go home after this one.
Yeah, except you'd show up on Friday, go home Monday.
Yeah, then next thing Tuesday. It was Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
My family thinks I'm dead.
Putting out welfare checks for you.
We were waiting for rent checks, but they never came.
Oh, no, you're not getting those. Maybe now. Get them now, man, for them.
I think that.
I know who they took.
I think that they'd mess up if they didn't take Devontae Smith here. Joseph Keim, I agree with you. I think that if they go elsewhere, they're gonna miss here.
Did you see who they took?
Nope.
I don't know if I want to keep playing along with the TV feed or if I just want to
go right for it.
Go for real time and let people know what's going on.
I just don't know if I want to spoil it. Hey, chat, what do you guys want?
Do you guys want us to keep waiting on TV?
Is there a
or do you want Blake?
Chat, or do you want it? Are you watching it in Cleveland live?
Yeah, or do you want Blake to tell you he knows every pick before it happens?
Yeah.
Like he's Nostradamus over here.
You're either
like,
up there.
I think that he's going to take Mac Jones is going to go here.
I got my crystal ball.
Yeah, right.
But this is a lot of fun, guys.
This is good. This is good.
Hopefully
I'm
you
just
guys are
looking
all
at the
enjoying
board
this.
and kind of seeing who's still on the board here.
A lot.
So, yeah,
Everything.
obviously Penny Sewell's still out there.
Yeah.
Our boy
Talent.
Justin Fields. You got Micah Parsons, the linebacker out of Penn State. Rashawn Slater, another tackle out of Northwestern. Christian Barmore, Patrick Surtain, 2 defensive players out of Alabama.
Yeah, we're going to get some defensive guys coming up
Yeah.
here after we get through this
good
top
rush.
10.
Yep.
The top 9, 10, you're looking at Surtain, you're looking at Horn.
Please,
There are guys that I would really like to see start falling here in the next hour or so as we do this thing, and one of those guys is Trevon Morg. I'd like to see him start stepping.
I completely
Rashad
agree.
Bateman. Hey, J.C. Horn, can you please slide on down the board just a little bit?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so either.
it would be great.
Eddie says he's behind with everything, so I don't care. Well,
From the Netherlands.
From the
He
Netherlands.
doesn't give a crap.
He doesn't care. Blake, who are they picking? Let's just do it.
Well, I'll break the news to you. With the 7th pick, I'm going to do my Roger Goodell.
I like it.
impression.
I like it.
The Detroit Lions select Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
So they're
Sewell.
going to protect Jared
they're going to
Goff.
protect Jared
Yeah.
Goff and
So
not
not
give him
give him
any
any
weapons.
Yeah, so he can't throw to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be, new
Well-
coach Dan Campbell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Starting a new start with Detroit. I believe he was with the Raiders for a while. I think he was a coach out there for a while. I can't remember where he was at last. Saints last. So you can't go wrong with picking Penei Sewell because we thought that he was going to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
You're getting a guy and you're, shoring up your line.
Yep.
But you got to have playmakers that are going to get in the end zone.
Depends.
So with Dan Campbell, what I have heard about Dan Campbell is that he's bringing a smash mouth, hard nosed mentality. He wants to run
to
and
make
play defense.
Detroit again.
He wants to run and play defense. So this Penei Sewell pick might just be to help that run game because
Hey.
they bring, like you said, they brought in
Swift.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams.
Yep,
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift. I mean, you look what it did for the Browns. I mean, Nick Chubb was great already, but then you put him and Kareem Hunt behind that offensive line last year, and what did they do? They just ran away every game. It was amazing. So
Yeah,
there's something to it.
Yeah, so I can't knock the pick here. I don't know a lot about Penei Sewell, lineman-wise, but I know that he was highly touted coming into the draft. Lions, we kind of see what direction you're going in. This next pick's going to be kind of interesting. We got
This has to be
Carolina on the clock.
This has to be. If Fields doesn't go here, he's going to Denver.
You traded for Sam Darnold. I think you're giving him a chance.
They didn't trade a lot, though.
Right, but I
Doesn't
think
matter.
you traded
I
for
don't
him,
know.
and then you got rid of Teddy Bridgewater and said, all right, Sam.
He's our
Again,
guy.
I
I don't
think
know.
if you
This-
draft a quarterback in the first round, he's starting for you.
He is, and I'm saying I don't think Sam Darnold's.
You don't trade for
where
Sam Darnold then.
I know, but this is where you didn't plan for this kind of talent to drop to your pick
This is
here
where
at 8. I mean,
You
I
take
don't know,
Smith
man.
and you give Darnold weapons. Give him things
Man.
that he never had in New York.
Hey, and I'm just saying, we've seen it where quarterbacks were like, man, Aaron Rodgers was one.
Yeah.
Look how far he fell.
Slid
We could just be
forever.
I mean, that's what's awesome about night 1 of the draft. It's the best, thing leading into the football season.
Yeah.
Live drama.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
mean, I got
absolutely.
needs though. I agree. Pro Football Focus agrees with Josh. Their needs are quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and cornerback. I don't see them drafting a cornerback here. Maybe this is where Devontae Smith goes, but I
think
really don't know.
that's-
I really don't know what Carolina's thinking here. Maybe they'll they get down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds here on the TV. That's a little delayed, but this was one of the spots where it was talked about maybe New England jumping into the fold.
Yep.
Maybe now they don't have to because Mac Jones is still. They're thinking, hey, we might get him at 15. Hey.
I almost thought by this point in the draft, all the quarterbacks were going to be gone.
Yeah,
So I know we're talking crazy. Like it's we're not even out of the top 10 yet, and we're like, how come 5 quarterbacks haven't been drafted yet?
Okay, well, hey, let's look here. Let's look ahead while we're waiting on this pick to come in. We got Carolina, who we said, okay, they traded for Darnold. They need a quarterback, maybe. Okay, Broncos, I think they need one.
Yeah,
I know they just got
absolutely.
Teddy back up Bridgewater.
They're taking
I think that they're taking a quarterback. Dallas isn't.
No, they're taking a quarterback.
Dallas?
They're taking a cornerback.
Okay, yeah.
They're taking
New York taking a quarterback, or you
No.
got to ride with Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
I think.
give
now
him-
see, that's a
yeah.
situation where I think they're riding.
Yeah,
Philly
Danny
needs
Dimes.
one. Philly needs a quarterback. I know they just brought in Joe Flacco. I know they drafted Jalen Hurts last year. But I think that they need a quarterback.
I thought Jalen Hurts looks
Justin Fields, though, or Jalen Hurts? Which one?
I know.
Would you rather have that QB battle?
I would not want Justin Fields on Philly.
No, because they're a dumpster fire.
They suck.
Oh, that'd be, hey, as a non-Buckeyes fan, that would be awesome for you guys to have to sit and be like, oh, Justin.
Or he could be the guy that showed up and turns the franchise around. We talk about the legend continuing.
Yeah, so I
Probably
mean,
not there.
man, gonna be interesting here what the Panthers do.
Yeah. I think they take Smith, honestly.
I would take Smith here. I would have taken Smith if I was Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for them to put this pick in, I'm actually going to go raffle off another prize.
Go ahead.
Man,
do that.
do it. We
Yeah.
can hold down the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to see how many times we can get Blake to go up and down the steps here tonight at Hoodletown. Because we
Yeah,
got
you might
trivia. We got trivia going on for those that aren't
You
here.
might not recognize him by the end of the night.
He's one stair climb away from blowing his other knee out.
Yeah, so for the people that aren't here with us, watching live, we got trivia going on downstairs.
Yeah.
Big crowd when we kick things off.
Yeah.
A lot of excitement, and most years the Browns we would already picked.
Yeah,
Everybody
we
we'd have packed up and went home by
Yeah,
now. We'd
yeah.
be on our way home.
We would have had to do this show 3 hours leading up to it.
Right, yeah, just
Yeah.
get through it. So different feeling, but same kind of excitement though for the Browns coming in this draft. And I think it helped how many stars there were here in this first round, in this first 10 picks, 15 picks to
Yep.
see where they go.
Yeah. This is nuts.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is the most I've ever prepared looking at all these different players coming into a draft.
It's
most
going to be.
preparing I
I'm
did was
interested to see
drinking
like
before
going
we
through the
started.
season and like hearing some of these names like during games and stuff. You're like, I remember that guy because I studied all these draft players.
Yep.
I think we got Thomas down there.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he got a Browns backers, which is it's kind of cool. So you want to kind of talk about that maybe while we're sitting here, how you came found out that the Browns backers were part of Hoodletown. This is like their place.
Well, Blake's the one who actually found that out, and I'm not sure how he did, but I did a search online. I went to Browns Backers Worldwide and just searched our town, and it came up and said, here's your local Browns Backers chapter, and then it gave me the list of here's the meeting place, here's the president, here's his email, all
That's
that
really
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, so you can just. So if
I
you've
know
got a
we've-
local backers club, in your area listening in right now, just go to Browns Backers Worldwide website and just start looking for your area.
Right, yeah, because, we've obviously talked with Lee out in Hawaii, they're all over the place, the Browns backers.
Yeah.
We got them in Ottawa. We've talked to all of our different people, from
I was gonna say,
all over. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's great to see Browns fans are global, not just here in Ohio.
Now that Blake, well, I guess he's running back up the stairs. Kyle, can we bring somebody in right now? Would we be able to do that? Could we bring, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Derek, if you're listening, DF Sports, how about we're gonna shoot you a link here and see if we can't pull you into the stream and kind of get your take on what's going on right now.
I know he's going to be upset about Fields not being on the board.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
yeah. How you doing, Blake?
Just running up and down the stairs.
Exhausted. Winded.
Broke protocol. Went ahead and raffled off 2 things just to keep it moving.
Oh, boy. Okay.
All right. Yeah, so I was going to ask you guys, and maybe we can talk to Derek about this. I keep looking at this
Okay,
JO.
Panthers pick. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, I
Real
just
quick,
spoiled
not
it.
to
I
cut
just
you-
said it.
Oh, what'd
was
you
it?
say? J.C. Horn. Justin's about to jump off this second story here.
Well, guys, have a good rest of your night. I'm out of here. See you later. I'm done.
You know what
just
I'm gonna-
kidding. Good for him. That's great. That's awesome.
What I'm going to say about this, too, is every mock we saw had Surtain going first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was
He's a
only
stud.
until about the last week or so that we started kind of seeing change,
Yeah.
and
All his-
Horn stock was rising, and Surtain, I saw a bunch of people were thinking with him, is he hit a ceiling? Has he hit a ceiling? Because he's almost like the perfect college player.
Yeah.
Was he ever going to get any better? Because you were trying to find things, right, that he could get better at and excel in. Where J.C. Horn, he was just scratching the surface of what kind of player he can become.
He is.
And they're showing these highlights up here on the
He's a
TV, and it's
stud.
like, oh man, I wanted him.
That's what I wanted real bad.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I mean,
And
if
I
there was a
think
guy that we were going to
knew
move
it
up
was
for.
very, very slim chances that was going to happen, but
Yep.
I knew it was slim, but Cliff is listening from Nashville, so that's pretty awesome. That's a cool city.
yeah.
I enjoy Nashville. Look up my friend Dustin down there. He plays a lot of music in the bars. He's a good dude.
Yeah, but man, great pickup here. Kind of surprising that Devontae Smith just sitting around waiting to be picked.
Everybody said too with him, they're like, oh, size is an issue, but I don't see any issue.
Speed kills, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask Tyreek Hill if he likes being short in the
I don't
NFL.
think he cares.
Not at all. No, he doesn't care one bit. And
Nope.
It's surprising. A guy who I know that a lot of times wide receivers don't carry over into the NFL, but Devontae Smith is just sitting there, and nobody in college football had an answer on how to stop him.
Well, the Buckeyes sure didn't. But, maybe we can talk to.
It wasn't Pete Warner down the middle of the field. I know that.
There's some talk. You bring up that name. There's some talk about Pete Warner being our pick at 26.
Hopefully, we're not going to use him to cover a wide receiver.
It looks like we got Derek queued up here. Are we good to go, Kyle?
So we got Denver on the clock here. Just under 5 minutes.
This is Derek's guy right here. Derek is probably going to be happy because I feel like Denver,
if they take Mac Jones.
I think they take Justin Fields right here. This is Justin Fields.
They didn't take long. They said the pick was in. I think, unless I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah. So this is it's getting interesting here at this point in the draft.
Yeah, Justin Fields does not get past Denver, at least, unless they take Mac Jones.
Think about that. Think about that. Think about that QB room. That's a packed QB room. You got Drew Lock, who the job was mine, right? Teddy Bridgewater's coming in fresh off having not a terrible season,
solid.
right? You bring him in. Now you're going to bring in a young rookie. Man.
Teddy the Bridgewater.
Right, that was
Bridge quarterback water.
Yeah, it's the Bridge quarterback water.
I feel bad for the guy because I think he was ascending before the big injury.
Oh yeah, he was
With
him.
Minnesota?
Back in Minnesota.
Him and Peterson and that. They were
They're
going to be
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yep. Freak accident. It's terrible.
All right, Kyle says we're ready to bring Derek on. All right, Derek, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
All
What's
right.
up, brother?
Oh my gosh, guys! How in the world? I don't get this. I don't get this.
Oh, we had a feeling you were going to feel this way.
Yeah.
What do you think
Well,
so
here's-
far, man? I know
well,
how
here's-
we feel.
Here's the thing. I mean, you look at these guys, and it's like, you know the names, you know that
and
Mac
you know
Jones and Trey
that
Lance
Mac
were the guys
Jones and
linked,
Trey Lance were the guys
to the 49ers there at
to the 49ers there at 3.
Obviously, Trevor Lawrence.
Obviously,
and Zach
Trevor
Wilson,
Lawrence and
1
Zach
two.
Wilson.
That was
1 and 2.
given.
That was.
But
that
now,
was given.
if I am, not just sprinting the card up. I'm doing a little happy dance on the way.
a little happy dance on the way.
Because this is a no-brainer pick
And
right
as
here.
far as everything
And
else,
as far as everything else,
oh my gosh, I was so disappointed to see J.C. Horn go.
But it is what it is.
But
Too,
it is
brother.
what it is.
It's all right. It's all right.
What we all knew was slim that we were going to get him, but then again, in all the mocks we were doing, I think I did one mock where he dropped to 20-something, which I didn't see happening in real life, obviously, but still, I was hoping he would get out.
Kyle, they're
outside
saying,
top 10.
chat's saying they're getting an echo, getting some feedback.
Gosh, Kyle. Jeez.
Yeah,
Is
as
it
if your
from
job
me?
wasn't hard enough.
Is it from me? I don't have anything playing on my. I don't have anything playing on my end.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see where Denver goes. I agree. I think they got to go quarterback. I'd take Fields over Mac Jones for them if I was here. I got best fit pulled up right now saying Patrick Surtain to Denver as being the best fit. But man, they need a quarterback because they got some wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. They need a guy to get him the ball.
I agree. I think it's Justin Fields here. I really do.
Hey, in the chat, is the echo just when Derek talks, or is it for everything?
Because I'm hearing myself twice. Because I'm hearing myself twice, but you told me that.
Yeah, somebody said yes.
All right, so it's just when Derek talks, they're getting the bad echo. Well,
Okay.
all right, Derek, we're gonna
Kick you off.
we're gonna kick you off here, but wait, if we get this figured out, we'll bring you back on. All right, man.
Yeah, you're going to be up,
Okay,
right?
just let me know. Okay, just let me know.
All right, let's
Cool.
go Browns.
Thanks,
Derek, hey, just for a heads up, been watching a lot of DF Sports, man. You'll be a little. You got a lot of good videos on there, man. I've been listening to them on the way to work. He's gone.
He bounced.
Yeah, he said, I'm done.
Well, hey, that's unfortunate. We'll try to get that figured out. We do have the ability to bring people in on video, right?
We do, but the problem's going to be that echo right now.
Okay.
Whether it was audio or video.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll keep, just keep communicating in the chat. We'll try to get this figured out so we can get you guys calling back in and even videoing in.
We got Denver. Pick is in. Just got the pick is in. Is right with the TV. So.
Do you know who it is?
Hasn't showed up yet on PFF.
Don't know who the pick is, but they took pretty much all 10 minutes here. So maybe they were listening to some offers, and we still know New England was wanting to move up to try to get their guy.
If they trade this pick and it's going to be another 10 minutes waiting for New England to decide what they want to do.
I can say this, though. If the Broncos aren't taking quarterback here, Dallas isn't taking quarterback, and more than likely New York's not taking quarterback. So you could be looking at moving up to 11 if you're trying to jump in front of the Eagles. They might not need to get into that top 10, especially if they're okay with Fields and Mac Jones. They might just try to move up to that 11 spot and grab one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or even try to get in. The Chargers aren't looking quarterback. Maybe trade up 13.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I know that Justin, he's still sitting over here sad face about that J.C. Horn pick.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Pick before.
You wanted that jersey so bad.
I did.
He's gonna look good though in black and blue down there in Carolina.
Not as good as brown and orange.
I'm a little bit upset, that these teams think they have to take the whole 10 minutes.
I tried explaining this, so fans out there listening, I tried to explain them, this is just how it goes.
Yeah,
but we were in for a 4-hour wait for one pick.
A couple times I watched, though, when the people knew, when it was especially a lot of quarterbacks, it went quick. I don't know,
So there's obviously, if it's what we said about Fields, but there's some people that are questioning Justin Fields and something, that we really haven't seen it.
No.
Dave wants to know if we're doing second and third round
I got the notification this time.
We're not going to be set up live here, but depending on how things are going, we could potentially, I know one of us is not going to be able to, but we might be able to jump on and do some reaction quick tomorrow.
I guess Teddy Bridgewater's the guy. Patrick Surtain is now a Denver Bronco.
That's the guy that they said was the best fit, so Horn and Surtain go back-to-back, top cornerbacks gone. So, Cleveland, we ain't trading up because those were two of the guys I think we were going to trade up to try to get.
Yeah, but if they want corner now, they want Newsome, he's...
Or Farley.
Call me crazy here, but I wasn't a big fan of what I saw on Newsome. He just didn't jump off the page where I was like, I wanted to go get this guy. Farley, I would definitely take Farley, I think, over Newsome. But we got those edge guys that are still going to be sitting there. I think that pretty much we're standing pat at 26. I think Horn was the guy that if you were going to move up, you were going to try to get him. Other than that, I think we're just staying at 26.
Yeah, so all our talk about the Browns, what would they have to do to trade up in the top 10? Don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yep.
I mean, I guess unless they're working something out with Dallas right now, but who?
Right.
There's still, an edge rusher still hasn't been picked.
No, and I kind of like that.
No, I mean, there's still a ton of edge rushers out there. There's still linebacker out of Notre Dame still there. Collins is still there. I mean, there's a lot of good players still available.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if to Zach's point, if you want to talk about receivers, I mean, you still have Devontae Smith,
still sitting out there.
Rashad Bateman's still out there. You still got both the Moores, Elijah and Rondale.
You think about that roster.
Marshall.
You think about that roster. So Dallas's guy's gone because they were one of the cornerbacks.
Yeah.
So that's gone. You imagine adding Devontae Smith to that offense?
Where would they put him?
I mean, somewhere on the field. I'd take a lineman off and put him out there.
I mean,
I'd put him at running back and just always split him outside.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, gosh, could you imagine what that would be there? But I don't think that they're going there. They're probably. I mean, they did just lose Sean Lee, the leader of their defense, and maybe now they got to go.
They've been looking at linebacker.
They got to go Owusu Karamoa, whoever, Josh.
Owusu Karamoa, I think that's how everybody just calls him JOK.
So JOK, they might be going there. Here with that pick, they're not looking at Fields. They're not looking at Mac Jones. Micah Parsons,
Hey,
him.
Joseph Keim out there in the chat Yeah, he says they say Justin is slow in making decisions. Now, I'm not going to be a solid, Ohio State homer. I was a huge critic last year because that's how you guys know how I am watching my teams pretty hard on them. Justin Fields did hold the ball quite a bit.
Part of that, I think,
at
is
times.
somewhat of the offense, though. He knows that if he can just get that, we're going to hit a home run because we were Ohio State playing against, to be honest, a bunch of scrubs.
But, is that something these teams are taking into consideration? I just cannot believe that Denver, though. The Denver Broncos.
Mac Jones just sitting there, like, holding his phone, like, somebody give me a call, man. I thought I was going number 3. I'm sitting here.
Before this talk of him going 3 to the Niners, was Mac Jones even looked at as like a top 20 pick?
I don't really know where all that came from.
No.
Well, okay, so he was kind of
Nobody was talking about him going top.
His hand that he was dealt in Alabama, I mean, he had to play behind Jalen Hurts, and they had to play behind Tua. So, he wasn't going to get the Trevor Lawrence treatment of being able to be the guy, the starter for 3 years. He's behind 2 guys that are playing in the NFL today.
Yep.
So, he didn't get that ability. And, yeah, he impressed last season. I mean, he completed 78% of his passes, which is crazy good.
Yep.
Nightmare scenario here, by the way. They're talking about in the chat.
Okay,
Don't let Fields drop to Pittsburgh.
Oh, my gosh.
Man. First of all, I don't want to hate him.
So I just got a text message from a guy who does a lot of breaking reports and stuff, and he said what he's hearing is that Denver did not select Justin Fields there because they are very close to solidifying their Aaron Rodgers deal.
Oh, my God.
No way.
That's what he just texted me.
I said, remember when we came on, I said, and when we talked about the Rodgers, I said it was the Raiders and the Broncos.
And they just came out before the draft that the Broncos made a very interesting offer.
I mean, that is...
Man, that would be breaking news.
I mean, today, could you imagine?
Was that Barry?
No, it was my friend Raymond Smalley.
That's like almost got me shook. Is that what the kids are saying these days? Shook?
I don't know.
So we got a trade, I think, that just happened here. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I think the Eagles, for some reason, just moved up here to make a selection. They traded in division, I believe, because this is pick number 10, and I got the Eagles on the clock.
It was the Cowboys.
Yep, so we got Phillies picking right now at 10, and it's showing them picking at 12. Now, we don't know if that's for sure.
Huh.
It might be that they just swapped, but they wanted to jump over the Giants and get their guy here at 10.
Interesting. I got alerts going all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, so the pick is traded. We don't know what the trade was for, though.
Try to get
still
that
listed
info.
at 10 and 12. Huh.
I don't
Interesting.
know. They had to give up. There's no way Dallas gave up the pick and they're dropping completely out of the first round.
Who'd they trade up for?
I don't know.
Quarterback?
I don't know.
Maybe they were worried about
What quarterback wouldn't have been there? Yeah, what quarterback wouldn't have been there at 12?
So basically,
the Giants pick next. Are we saying the Giants are sold on Daniel Jones? Would the Giants have taken one of those guys, and now they're saying, hey, we're jumping up to get him before you get the chance? We're talking about 3 teams right here that just traded, or that were picking back to back to back, that are all in the same division, and 2 of them just made a deal with each other.
And they're the worst division.
I mean, man, the NFC least.
Yeah. Back at it again, baby. 2021 is going to be great.
Hey guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm having a hell of a time.
This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
The draft, it might take a while, but it's, for us like diehard football fans, it's
fun to just sit around and talk about it. I got to say, YouTube is really appreciative to all you guys tuning into this live stream.
So if I got this right, I think it was they just swapped picks with the Eagles, if that's right.
Okay.
And everybody's thinking this is Devontae Smith going to Philly.
Yeah. Right?
Devontae Smith going to Philly.
I guess the Giants would have been probably going
to take him. And they just swapped picks. And I'm sure that it wasn't just of swapping picks. I'm sure they got cash considerations.
Now, if it's Devontae Smith, that means I don't care what they're saying about they got to have a competition. It's Jalen Hurts, the quarterback.
Hurts is your guy, yeah.
Get him weapons.
Yep. Because it's kind of like what the Browns did for Baker last year. You can't truly evaluate Jalen Hurts if you're not going to put weapons around him.
No.
Now, that's what they just did to Carson Wentz. They kicked him to the curb when you had practice squad players playing around him.
Yeah.
But,
that was talk about a fall. That team was on top of the world, win the Super Bowl, and then it was just what happened.
I mean, in Carson
So
Wentz,
if we sit here and we look, now we don't know what the details of the trade. I'm sure we'll see here in a second. when we get that. We think that Smith might go here to Philly, and you're Dallas, and you just traded with your in-house rival to get their guy that they wanted. Now, Dallas is probably sitting back saying, hey, we dropped 2 spots. We're getting Micah Parsons or JOK. We're probably getting one of those guys that we wanted.
Yep.
But, man, you just traded with a team in your division you got to play twice that could wreck you for the multiple years.
Christopher Nye coming in strong from South Carolina. What's up? Both his ears work.
Yeah, I don't know. John Nye, I think, is working tonight, so hopefully he'll listen in at some point.
But for real, thank you everybody for checking this out. This is awesome.
Yeah, and go subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, did you I wasn't listening. I really do.
It's all right.
But did you say what they traded for?
I didn't see. We just know that they
got
swapped.
Dallas got Philly's first round pick, and their 3rd round pick this year.
Okay. Yeah. So they had to pay to go get their guy, but that means I think that they're going probably Devontae Smith here, and it was because the Giants were going to get him, and they said, no. We want him more than they do. We'll give you the 3rd in a vending machine or something.
You don't need a receiver.
Yeah.
You do.
So, man.
Daniel Jones can use all the help he can get.
DF thinks Fields should go to New York now.
Man, could you imagine him with Barkley in New York?
Kenny Galladay.
Kenny Galladay now? Yeah. Man, that would be nice. It would be nice.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard.
It'd be a good fit
if
I'm Justin. I mean, all he does is fumble.
I mean, that's Gettleman's guy, though. Gettleman's still there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Gettleman's still there.
I mean, he drafted him.
Gettleman was the pick, or was the guy that I felt like he was like kind of like a gunslinger-ish type guy that he would have made a trade with the Browns. That would have been our guy, our into that spot. Now, obviously, I don't think there's a need for us to go now, unless we traded up to get Devontae Smith or something like that. That'd fill Odell's role for a few games till he got back. But man, okay, so we got.
Did you get
Odell.
the pick?
Yep, I
All
got
right,
it.
Announce it.
So with the 10th pick, the Eagles selected wide receiver Devontae Smith out of Alabama.
All right,
it just made sense.
Yeah.
That made sense there for why they would move up. And I'm kind of surprised Devontae Smith has fell this far. I thought he was going to go earlier.
It's kind of nuts that the number 2 on that team got picked before the Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver who, I mean, to be honest, there was no solution to him last year in college football.
None.
There wasn't.
I mean, there really wasn't.
I didn't watch much Alabama except for that national championship game, and he took us behind the woodshed. It was literally
all we wanted to do was put linebackers.
My wife's an Alabama fan, so as we've talked about on the show, she's here tonight, and we watched almost every Alabama game because they're always televised.
Yeah.
And it was apparent all year long that they couldn't guard them, and they play in a division in the SEC where you're going up against an LSU, you're going up against Texas A&M, you're going up against big schools. It's not like you're playing BYU and those type of smaller schools, and nobody had an answer all year long. But yeah, I mean, interesting. I mean, Mel Kiper hit in his last mock draft that he did, had Devontae Smith going 6. He ends up going all the way down here to 10 to the Eagles.
Crazy night so far, guys.
So we still have the quarterbacks on the board. Still got them. We still got the offensive lineman and Rashawn Slater from Northwestern that we got kind of mocked to go, Chargers, Vikings, both taking tackles, Christian Darrisaw, and those couple picks. But I think we're going to get to some defensive guys. I think Dallas is going to go defense.
Yep.
New York, they were looking at wide receiver. They were looking at Waddle. He's gone. They were looking at Smith. He's gone.
Yep.
I don't know where they're going to go here. Do they go quarterback? Because it fell this far. Do they go and they bring it in? I don't think this is tough.
Do they go O-line?
Do they go O-line, take the best guy available?
Yep.
Are they listening to trade offers because they really don't know who they want to pick and they just want to, stack up?
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think? You guys want to go through this New York pick and then maybe take a quick break?
Yeah, that's fine.
Back? Okay.
Let's do it.
I say we
do have somebody here that said, will we trade up for Bateman from Minnesota? Do we need to trade up for him?
I don't know if we do. I mean, and this draft, I think that there's things happening in this draft that nobody thought was going to really happen either. Right. I think that this draft is kind of shaking everybody up, and it's fun.
I want to know more about this Denver deal for Aaron Rodgers. Leave it to John Elway. The man can't draft a quarterback for crap.
No, he can't draft one, but he sure can. He got Peyton in there, and he did all right for a few years.
You know what I mean? So, but
I looked it up, and everything that I read was Green Bay saying we're not listening to anything. So I don't know.
It doesn't make any logical sense for the Broncos to be sitting at 8 with a guy like Justin Fields or Mac Jones. Oh, go ahead, Blake. What is it?
New York Giants trading their 11th pick to Chicago.
Chicago's coming to get Fields.
Fields, yep.
Yep, that's what I was. They're coming to get Fields or Jones.
Yep, I
didn't think about that.
Yep, I just got the update. Yeah, I just got that update. See if it's got the full pick.
Woo. There's
Chicago coming back up
Adam
for another QB.
Adam Schefter, trading up number 20 to number 11, which is one of the teams that they said you could go up and trade with was the Giants, with both of their guys being gone now. So I agree with Adam Schefter. It is QB time. Which one will they take?
Justin Fields.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're sold on it?
Yeah.
I'm not taking Mac Jones.
Yeah, but you're also not the Bears.
I mean, do they still have Nick Foles on their team?
Yes.
They have a slow, immobile.
Well, I guess I don't know if they do, but I know Andy Dalton's our number 1.
Oh, yeah. How would you like to be Andy Dalton, though? Did they trade him or did he sign?
They signed there, man, but he
went there thinking he was going to be a starter.
I don't believe that for any.
I don't believe that either, bro.
If he went there thinking he was going to be the starter,
why would you not have thought you were going to be a starter?
Because they're going to pay you $10 million.
Dude, he went to Dallas last year knowing he was going to be a backup.
Yeah, but then he.
So
played.
I
think he went there thinking he was going to be a starter.
They do have Andy Dalton and they do have Nick Foles on the roster. Now, call me crazy, but I don't know if this is somewhere I don't know if I'd want to go here to be a quarterback. You really want Fields to go to Chicago? Oh, they got Allen. They got Allen Robinson. And you got a really good running back in David Montgomery. Tariq Cohen's
kind of a good start.
Tariq Cohen's your number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, pretty much.
At 5'4". He can stand in a mini fridge. That's how short this guy is. All right. So, okay, Justin Fields is coming over to the couch if you're watching the ESPN broadcast as you're listening to the Dogs here at
the good podcast, or the good broadcast.
This is terrible, but what if they pick him and everybody starts taking pictures of him and he ceases out?
That's messed up, bro. Jeez.
Gosh, Blake. Hey, guys, just so you know out there on YouTube, this is a little bit more of that exclusive content you'll get at jointhedogs.com.
Yeah.
Here's my thing is if they're showing Justin Fields on the couch.
What is it? Because they said it's in.
I feel like it's locked.
Man, I don't know. Is he on the phone crying yet?
Not yet.
Sonny Weaver Jr. on the phone?
All right, well, hey, I just got the pick in.
Let's do it.
With the 11th pick, the Chicago Bears select Justin Fields.
All right.
Justin Fields finally at pick 11 is off the board.
To the team that he probably didn't want to go to, but that's all right.
He's got to play in the wind, the cold.
I don't care about that. He's got to play for Chicago.
You got Matt Nagy. It's going to be interesting to see. Matt Nagy kind of took over with Mitchell Trubisky and had this, one-of-a-kind offense that they were able to run. But, man, there's not a lot of guys to throw to. You got Anthony Miller, small guy. Darnell Mooney, small guy. So, Allen Robinson, I think he re-signed, right? Or they franchised him. I can't remember, but he's back there for this season. Jimmy Graham is still listed, but I'm not sure if I thought he was retiring after last season. But Cole Kmet is an up-and-coming tight end.
Let's hope so for my fantasy team.
But Damian Williams is now there from Kansas City. He's in Chicago now. They got a good defense. Maybe they were a quarterback away.
If you're the Bears, though, you have to be thinking coming into this draft, there's no way, at least like a month or two ago, there's no way we're getting Justin Fields.
They did not think.
You gave up, a third-round pick?
Is that all they did?
I don't know. I haven't seen yet exactly what the trade was.
Oh, no, that was the Eagles that they swapped.
I say we'll know it by the time we get back from
20
break
to 11 is that's pretty significant.
All right, so you guys, go ahead, Blake.
We're going to take a quick commercial break here, get our bearings straight now that the top 10s, all finished. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. In fact, go tell everybody that we'll be right back.
31st pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma.
This one's the perfect gift for the friend who's been getting a little too comfortable during quarantine, maybe your son, a father, or your boyfriend. In which case, it's really a gift for yourself, ladies and gents. Manscaped and their new performance package. This all-in-one kit that helps you maintain every bush or forest located below your head. Starting off with the star of the show, the updated Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. I didn't think I'd ever be so excited over an LED being included onto an electric razor, but here I am confirming it's pretty wicked. Look, I know, this visual isn't pleasant for either of us, but I had to verify that this thing can cut, and cut it does indeed. It's especially great if you grow patchy bushes like I do in the most visible areas. But let's be real, it's for this. And with a 7,000 RPM blade combined with that built-in light, their skin-safe ceramic blades help reduce the chances of nicking yourself. Basically, as long as you go slow and steady, you'll be fine. Unless you're into this, then you do you. If you have really shaky hands, they do include a guard that ensures the blade and your sensitive areas, both physically and emotionally, stay socially distanced. Plus, when you're done, it's waterproof too, making it one of the easiest trimmers to maintain, but that also means bath time just became a little more adventurous. Now, the trimmer itself may be mistaken as another vibrating tool with its ribbed and textured surface, but turns out an eggplant is just very ergonomic too. Oh, it also includes a dedicated charging dock that uses USB, so it makes traveling with this a breeze. Lastly, the blades are removable, which you can subscribe to get new blades sent to you every 3 months. Unless you're pretty hairless like I am, in which case the included blade is more than enough. As an all-in-one kit though, you've also got goodies for after you shave, like a deodorant for your balls. Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean it's not there. And I can confirm that this one does smell like a new car. Or, you know, whatever else is manly. Then for the times after shaving, when it can get a little uncomfortable, there's the Crop Reviver Ball Toner, which I can only describe as like a breath mint, but for down under. Honestly, just keep this in your bag and you'll thank me later. A new addition to this kit though is the Weed Whacker. It's got all the greatness of the lawnmower, but designed for the hair hiding in smaller parts of your body. Your nose, your ear, your wherever, as it still includes their skin safe tech, so it's one less thing you have to worry about when sticking it into any of your holes. Finally, they really didn't skimp on the all-in-one aspect. A free storage bag is included with the kit. It's got this pebbled leather look. To top it all off, because it just makes sense, they also throw in a free pair of boxers. And all I can say about this is it's really damn soft. Stretchy too if you need the space. But like I said, a perfect gift for your kid entering adulthood or your boyfriend who hasn't gotten off the sofa since buying the PS5. You'll be doing yourself a favor.
With the 35th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Nick Chubb, running back, Georgia. Okay, Nick.
What a thrill it must be for
Nick Chubb on the run.
Nick Chubb, running back.
2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Myles Garrett, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Experience a new way to play daily fantasy sports and esports on Thrive Fantasy. Thrive's game concept revolves around player props, which are simple over-unders on player stats. There are contests for traditional sports including the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, and cricket, as well as esports titles including CSGO, Dota 2, League of Legends, and more coming soon. Here's how to play. Choose your lineup of over-unders for top-tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. Each prop has a fantasy point total based on how likely it is to hit. The more points the selection is worth, the riskier it is. Rack up the most points and win a share of the prize pool. Thrive is awarded over $2 million in cash, so come and prop up today.
With the 10th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Jedrick Wills, tackle, Alabama. I hope you like it, Fletcher.
Well, not a surprise that they go offensive line. Jedrick Wills is off the board. Tua Tagovailoa called him the alpha male in the offensive line group for Alabama.
...172nd pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Rashard Higgins, wide receiver from Colorado State.
Boy, they are loading up on wide receiver, adding Rashard Higgins to a class that includes Jordan Payton from UCLA, Carter Lewis from Auburn, Corey Coleman from Baylor.
First of all, what did you think of the high top fade right there?
That's a serious high top fade right there.
Pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select David Njoku.
There you go.
Tight end, Miami.
And it's caught for a touchdown. That is big and bad.
David Njoku, tight end, 1,060 career receiving yards.
Njoku.
7:31. So there's
We're back. It's all good.
It's all right. So while we were away, Micah Parsons selected by the Dallas Cowboys, linebacker. You know, Sean Lee just retired. So they needed to kind of fill that void with Jalen Smith on their defensive side. I think we kind of knew that they weren't going to go offense. Their offense is pretty legit as long as Dak Prescott's ankle is where it's supposed to be.
Also legit, yeah.
Yeah, so not a big surprise there at that pick. Chargers are on the clock. Pick is in. It's going to take 16 hours for Goodell to walk out onto the stage, get the person up out of the chair, take him to the mic.
Yeah, don't these people know that we're trying to do a live draft party? What are they taking so long for? Dave said, I told you they were drinking.
Well, that was ice cold water, Dave, that you saw.
Dave, I finished my draft, so.
We can't be all work and no play.
Dave, just so you know, Justin's cut off. They cut him off around 8 o'clock.
That is not true. The girl just came up here. She said, do you want another? And I said, no, ma'am, please. Just give me.
Quit asking me.
Please, just give me a couple minutes to get my bearings together.
Dell 982 wants.
I hope so. I would take him, man. I'd take JOK.
Now, but that's the thing about JOK, and I was going to ask you guys about him. He's not like he's more like a safety linebacker hybrid, right?
He's athletic. The thing I like about him is he's athletic enough to cover tight ends, to cover a wide receiver if you needed him to.
But can he step up in the run game? Is he big enough for that?
Okay, I got the pick in so we can announce it here.
Yep.
LA Chargers take Rashawn Slater, who Mel Kiper had him projected to take out of Northwestern, the tackle, pick number 13.
Yep.
Moving to 14 now on the clock will be the Vikings.
All right, so last year the Chargers' offensive line sucked, and Justin Herbert was awesome.
Yes.
So get him an O-line and watch out.
Yeah, and he did it most of the season without his running backs. Austin Eckler was out pretty much all year long on IR. So you get him back, get him healthy, get him a line. Chargers offense is, they still got Keenan Allen. They got Mike Williams. I don't think that they have Hunter Henry anymore. I think they let him go. Hunter Henry's in New England. Is he in New England, right?
New England.
He's in New England now.
Him and Jonnu Smith.
They loaded up on tight ends, and now maybe we're a pick away after the Vikings. They're going to get Mac Jones to throw it to him. So
that's what they said.
Look at Belichick just sitting there like, I didn't have to do anything.
Chestnut checkers, man. Chestnut checkers. That's what he's doing.
So a lot of things that I saw, though, with this draft and how the Patriots were going, it was a lot of questions about how much more does Bill got? How many more years is Bill going to coach?
I mean, you can coach.
I know, but
What
I'm
else
just
does he got to
saying,
do?
how much longer does he want to? How many more rebuilds does he want to go through? Does he want to go through rebuilding again, or would he rather, like you said, Blake, earlier on, trade for a Jimmy G, who's kind of more of a win now window in that system rather than Mac Jones? You got to teach him the system.
Do we really consider the Patriots in a rebuild? I know last year was down, but they had so many defensive guys opt out.
This is true. Yeah, that's true.
Is it really considered a rebuild if you have one off year when half your team opted out?
Or if you spend $268 million in free agency, I don't think they would. I consider that a rebuild at all.
You know what I mean? Like
it'll be interesting.
A retool. You know,
loading up, just reload.
Yeah.
So Bill doesn't seem like he has a ton of hobbies.
Hey, okay. One guy was right on this for any of our viewers that stuck with us at the beginning of last NFL season until now. Who you taking in that division? You going back with New England? I'm still going Buffalo.
Oh, we did this last year. Yeah.
I'm still going Buffalo.
Yeah.
I guess
you told me, I remember, Blake, that you said you would not pick New England until somebody, or you wouldn't not pick New England unless somebody beat them. Well, somebody beat them. So now you're free. The chains are gone.
I'm going to stick with the Bills, but I think it's going to be close.
I think it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be close between the Bills and the Dolphins.
Man, that division went from
Tom Brady leaves, and that division all of a sudden becomes real.
Right.
Dave says this podcast is fun. Dave, we appreciate that. We're having a lot of
we're
fun.
super loose out here right now.
And as long as they don't turn the lights out on us, we're going to be here.
But we have our own lights, so we're good.
They might turn the lights out on us.
The thing about this in the draft where we pick, it just takes so long to get there. I remember staying up. I was up after midnight last year watching.
I cannot believe that it took 2 hours to get through 10 picks. I know it goes slow, but that doesn't even mathematically make sense. It's only 10 minutes a pick.
Well, I looked it up. 32 picks times 10 minutes, 320 minutes. We were looking at 5.5 hours.
My God.
If everybody took their allotted time, it's 5.5 hours.
Dozing off over here.
Also, on the NFL, typically they're on it, but who starts a Thursday night draft at 8 o'clock and then gives them 10 minutes to make picks?
Well, because it's 5 o'clock out on the West Coast.
Okay, but they start the Super Bowl at 6:30.
Yeah.
Right.
So people will watch it. So.
Yeah, crazy. Hopefully Belichick never gets another good team. I'm with you, Joseph Keim. I'm with you, man.
What is that?
Screw New England. I'm tired of it. They won enough.
Yeah. For the record, you had his New England clock in the background for.
Hey. Now, that was stepdad's
Zach's a secret New England fan. Josh is a real New England fan.
That's right.
Zach is a secret New England fan.
Correct.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I took a lot of flack for that, just so you know. That clock about risked all the credibility at the beginning.
Who do you guys have for the Vikings?
So the Vikings here on the clock. Pick isn't in yet. They're taking their 10 minutes because nobody wants to talk about them. They're going to take, I would say, probably other linemen.
And then Mac Jones is going to New England.
Yeah, they're taking
Christian Darrisaw.
I think that they're going to go with the other one. I think they're going to take Vera Tucker. I think they'll take
Vera Tucker.
Yeah, I think they'll take him.
I've heard good things about him.
Yeah,
Eddie wants to know why the Patriots are going to take Mac Jones. I think I mean,
what are you going to do? Have Cam Newton go out there and throw again?
That's what I'm saying. I don't see Cam Newton.
So Mac Jones isn't a threat to run at all. He's not going to blow you away with his running ability.
They won a
but
lot
he's
of
a pocket.
Super Bowls.
He's a pocket passer with good arm talent. Not great, but good arm talent, and his accuracy is his biggest thing. He's the most accurate quarterback, I think, even over Trevor Lawrence. If you look at their stats, it's not even close. Mac Jones is the most accurate quarterback that was in this draft. But then if you do everything else, every other skill set, he was fifth on the list.
I guess we don't have to worry about the Vikings picking. They just traded with the Jets.
Jets are back on the clock.
God. The Jets
are
all the way back into the top 15?
Yeah. Jets are back on the clock. They already got Zach Wilson.
What did they give up to
at
do
number
that?
2?
I don't know, but what did they come up to get?
I mean, defensively, they need defense. I don't know if they need linemen, but you got Vera Tucker's there, and you got Darrisaw there. You still got the linebacker out of Notre Dame sitting around.
They came back up to get Mac Jones. That way New England can't have him.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Talk about chess and checkers. He's like, you want your quarterback? No, we'd rather play against Cam Newton. So you're going to have to ride that out.
Cam Newton has 8 touchdowns in a full season as a starter.
Man, what a big trade this is. I'm going to see if I can find out what.
Yeah, look it up.
Wow.
This is,
not expecting that. I don't think anybody would have.
No. Interesting. And
Gage Tucker says Mac Jones is the poor man's Joe Burrow, according to Shannon Sharp. Skip. Mac Jones sucks. Now skip.
Oh, man.
But no.
Peck is in. They had intentions.
Snap saying Jets are going up to get Farley.
Wow.
I mean, they had to go. What did you have to give up to move? Where was their next pick?
Well, Zach will find out because I can't remember where they were
Stats
picking.
guy.
Yeah.
When was their next pick?
Yeah, they were still in front of the Browns, though, weren't they? They were in the early 20s.
So they didn't move back up
21,
something like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out here.
I'm with you, buddy. I'm helping you. So
Jets they're now picking at 14. They were picking at 23, and they still show at 23. Obviously, we think the 23rd pick's going to be involved in this trade.
How about the Vikings, though? So they don't have any needs?
I guess not. Well, they're going to take one of the players we need at 26. They're going to take him at 23.
Yeah. We'll take an edge rusher.
Man. What a big trade.
Yeah, the draft
Jets
is nuts.
doing stuff. This is kind of, a little bit of what the Browns kind of went through back when we traded and got back in. This is obviously earlier than what we did.
I wish the Browns would move up so we don't get kicked out. So we don't get shown the door.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, no, this party's still hopping down here.
Yeah.
I love seeing all these Browns fans out and about.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell in the background, but there's a pretty decent turnout here at Hoodletown. This place is really awesome.
Yeah, that's not us piping in noise for crowd noise.
No, this isn't
Major League.
2020 NFL season stadium noise.
We still got a good crowd here for a Thursday night.
That's right.
We're super appreciative to everybody who came out here tonight, and obviously everybody in the chat who's watching. Your guys' interaction is what is helping keep this go.
I think they're taking Vera Tucker here. I would think. I don't know, but maybe they need a lineman, they need edge, and they need cornerback.
Did you guys see this question from Eddie18 here? He says, "Is there still a player on the board that you want the Browns to trade up for?"
To trade up for?
There's a bunch.
There's a bunch of players I want.
Yeah.
Do I think we need to trade up?
I'd take any of the edge rushers really that are out there. I'd take Owe, I'd take Pay, I'd take Ojulari at 26. If one of those three were there at 26, I'd be fine with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trevon Morg, right?
Yeah.
If he's there,
Trade a couple picks, maybe.
I would like him.
Trevon Morg, I would move up a couple spots for him if he was sitting there in the 20s.
Jay, okay to the Browns? I don't know if he'd fall that far. I don't know if he'd fall.
Move up. I mean, go get your guy. Come on now. Andrew Berry probably doesn't have cell service in the hospital. Pick 14 is in for the Jets. They haven't announced it on TV yet, but I do have it.
Get it.
So I'm going to butcher this name, but the Jets just took a tackle out of USC,
Elijah Vera Tucker.
Elijah Vera Tucker. So
interesting.
And they took their new quarterback, and then they said, we got to protect this guy. Something the Bengals think is optional.
All right. So,
actually, speaking of that, real quick, I did just talk while we were on commercial break. I talked to a Bengals fan that I'm friends with downstairs.
Oh boy,
that sucks.
And, yeah, I know, right? And I asked him, I said, "So what'd you think about Chase? Did you get your guy?" And he goes, "Eh." I said, "What do you mean?" Eh. He's like, kind of need linemen.
I think that's just Bengal fans in general. They're lowly people.
I mean, he's living in Ohio and he's cheering for the Bengals, so he's already doing something wrong.
Did you guys notice that when they put the first draft commercial out there, like the best city in Ohio, and then like 3 days later they changed it and they're like, we're in Cleveland. Like they forgot that they had a second NFL team in Ohio. I thought that was very interesting. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, so I mean, with this pick, hasn't been announced.
Yeah.
Blake has connections.
Yeah.
That they took Vera Tucker.
So now we're getting ready for
15.
Mac Jones.
I think it's got to be Mac Jones, right?
And what if they don't?
Because, Bill Belichick every once in a while, he'll be like, I was at this kid's high school pro day in a cornfield, and he was lifting like homemade weights, and I scouted him, and I turned him into an all-pro.
Training camp.
Belichick will do something like take Kyle Trask in the second or third round or whenever, and he'll end up being a stud.
Or Ellinger or something like that.
Yeah.
They've struggled to draft good offensive talent.
They have. I mean, you look at, and we talked about N'Keal Harry. That didn't work out for them. Sony Michel has not worked out for them. I mean, what offensive talent? They don't usually draft in the first round.
Your boy Stidham.
Yeah.
Stidham. Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
He forgot that guy was even on the roster.
Right. Yeah, so Veritaka, he's a big guy out of USC, 6'5", 308, played a lot of tackle at USC, and he played well at left tackle last season, but most NFL prospects are saying he's making the move to guard.
Really? So they drafted a guy who's going to move to guard.
Yep.
Who are their tackles?
That's not usually what you jump up for, is it, a guard?
No, especially not if you have a brand new rookie quarterback you're trying to protect.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to go give some stuff away. You guys got
Yeah,
this.
go for it. Hey, I want to shout out to Snap here. He says he's on the road in Virginia, but he calls home not far from where we are. He's from Worcester, so shout out to
I work in Worcester.
Snap from Worcester.
Yeah, so
Thanks for joining us.
Blake's got a few more prizes to give out. We've given out a bunch of Browns backer stuff. Gave out the lawnmower 3.0 and one of his last raffles there. So.
Actually, the guy downstairs said, "Hey, can you show me how to use this?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can listen to my reviews about it, but that's about where it ends."
Just watch a few of the after the ad reads.
They got instructions in the box, man. We're not doing all that out here.
Yeah, we don't do how-to videos.
Yeah.
Well, on the product.
Not on that. Not on that, buddy.
But yeah, the New York Jets. I did not see that. I did not see that coming.
I did not
Good
either.
for them, though.
But now,
Sounds
So this is what's interesting is now there's a lot of defensive players on the board, and in the NFL right now it seems like it's edge rusher and corner, defensive back. That's kind of what's popular. But you've got guys like Mike Parsons already gone, and he's a linebacker. Obviously, the top two corners are gone, but no edge rushers yet.
Right. And real quick, we talked about who did they have at left tackle in New York. Pretty good guy, that Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they draft him last year?
I think they drafted it. I think it might have been last year.
That was last year.
He's legit.
Yeah.
He's Pro Bowl caliber already. 6'7", 364. I mean, guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm just wondering. We got the ESPN broadcast above us here. Why does it say the Jets still have 7.5 minutes on the clock?
I think they're just way behind the times on the TV.
They have Hulu.
But look, they're already showing that Vera Tucker was selected, so I don't know why they still are counting down for the whatever.
Yeah, so they just got
get
that
off
mess.
ESPN and get
they
to
got
the Dogs.
They got the broadcast wrong there. New England's probably on the clock, and right there, New England taken by the Patriots right there.
Wait,
had
what?
to have been. They just. They had
You
to.
just said New England was taken by the Patriots?
Or New England taking Mac Jones. Did we not just see a Mac Jones?
Yeah, it just popped up there.
Screw that up?
Kyle, we're not the only ones who have trouble with our live feed.
They just had Mac Jones going to New York Jets. Somebody's taking a screenshot of that and saying they just took both quarterbacks.
Yeah, they threw in their graphics a little too soon.
They must have been listening to the Dogs and heard Blake say that they were jumping up to take Mac Jones.
Because they still had the Jets on the clock, but really it was the Patriots. That's funny.
Yeah,
so Mac Jones.
Now we're
going to
just
break
waiting
it here live. Mac Jones, quarterback from Alabama, goes to the New England Patriots.
Yep, and we're going to have, I'm guessing, Arizona's on the clock that we're seeing the countdown for.
Now, Arizona could be a Caleb Farley or Greg Newsome pick. Because I've seen them mocked a lot with cornerbacks.
Yes, I could definitely see that.
The Patriots wasted new time.
No, they knew.
Oh, yeah. So did ESPN.
Right. Apparently.
It's been a long night for everybody already.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're getting into the long hours.
And you're right, as Browns fans, we're just not used to being this, focused on the draft this far into it.
Okay, so how about this? Just throw this out here. I got Mel Kiper's projected last mock draft. He actually had the New York Jets trading up to 16 to get Vera Tucker. So he predicted it was going to happen. It happened a couple picks earlier. But so they get their guy there.
Yep.
This is, he also had the Detroit Lions switching with New England for them to get their guy that didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to get they got their guy at 15.
Yep.
So that puts the Cardinals on the clock.
Yep, so right here just popped up. It says Mac Jones contract with the Patriots. I don't know why this one popped up and I didn't see any of the others, but 4 years. Oh, don't go away from me. 4 years, $15.5 million contract, fully guaranteed, $8.7 million signing bonus.
So, what'd you give away, Blake? Blake's making his way back over here. What prizes did we just give away?
Get on the mic.
Gave away a couple T-shirts.
What's up?
You gave away a couple T-shirts. Obviously,
T-shirts. I'm like Santa Claus.
So if I'm looking down there, I see we still have the Kareem Hunt jersey to give away.
Yep.
The Browns blanket to give away, and the Austin Hooper jersey.
Correct.
So we're down to 3 prizes.
Yes.
3 prizes. We're going to make them stay here until we go home. If you want those prizes, you got to stick around.
That's right.
So
what do you think about Mac?
I mean, we called it.
We did. I mean, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad that he doesn't have to wait anymore. I'm glad that he got off the board because after
You're a big
this.
Mac Jones sympathizer. I just felt so bad he was waiting around.
Well, I do.
I
I
had a
feel
clock in my
bad. I mean,
background
hey,
during a podcast,
I'll tell you, the guy at least showed up on draft night.
Yeah, right.
So
I
he's
think-
got everybody just sitting and watching him. He's not sitting around on his couch.
This is a really good spot for him. I mean, this is a win-win for them. And, I know everybody in the chat's going to hate this because everyone's saying Belichick needs to have bad teams, but it's a good situation for them and him because he can sit behind Cam Newton for half the year if he has to, or the whole year.
Now, here's my biggest thing, though, is those are 2 very different quarterbacks, 2 very different types of offenses that they need to be in to be successful.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Snap Malloy there in the comments. I agree. I bet the Cardinals were probably moving up for Tucker, and Jets didn't want to give him that chance.
Yep.
So jumped up a few picks early to get him.
Deion Crosby, Mac Jones speed walking. Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to get out there and get this over with before they changed
He
their
wanted to show that
mind.
he was an athlete.
What do you mean I
Say,
can't move?
Yeah, don't look at my 40 time. Look how far I can walk out here in this suit. Cardinals pick already in, so I mean we're starting
cruising,
to move.
Baby. Let's get to 26.
We're starting to move along here. They need tight end, interior defense, and a cornerback.
So
they're probably looking at. I'm thinking probably Farley. I could see them taking Farley. I
makes
like
sense,
Farley
yeah.
over Newsome. So they can take Newsome and leave Farley on the board, and maybe he falls to us. But I mean, Barmore is by far the number 1 interior lineman available, and it's kind of a drop off to number 2.
Do you think this is where you see the ends start going off, edge rushers start going, or are we still? We're not ready for that yet.
I'm looking at the board here, and I'm thinking if the Cardinals go cornerback, the Raiders, the Raiders are pretty dumb, but they have got to do something for that O-line. They have to. Otherwise, they might as well not even play this year. I think the Dolphins at 18 go running back. I really do. Washington, I'm not sure, but they don't really need an edge rusher in the first round because they got Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Mm-hmm. And then it's the Giants, and then we're in the 20s.
I mean, we didn't think Kwity Paye would fall this far.
No, I mean, if we get to 20 and the Giants are sitting there and Kwity Paye and still on the board, maybe I don't know. Think about it.
Man, there's a lot of good players that we didn't think were going to be there at that pick that I think are going to be around. And as much as you're thinking in that top 10 when Browns are picking, like, man, I really hope we just hit on this guy. We're going to be almost in the same boat at pick 26.
This might be why Andrew Berry has not been aggressive trying to trade up too far to get a guy, because maybe he thought this might be how it plays out. I'm going to have my pick here of the litter.
Joseph wants to know when Pitts was drafted. He was taken 4th to the Falcons.
Taking 4th to the Falcons. That offense is going to be nice. Thank you, Eddie, chiming in.
And they're going to have to score a lot of points.
My wedding DJ's bouncing.
Oh, he's leaving?
That's how big we made it.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job at your wedding.
Yeah.
That guy
It was a
saw
fun
me.
time.
Now, did he pay you as much to be here as you paid him to be at your wedding?
No. Unfortunately, no.
He won that deal. By a lot.
But Blake made sure that he left before he gave out one of the nice jerseys. So he got even. He got even.
Good.
Listen, I understand it's a work night for a lot of these people. I don't have to get up early for anything, so lucky me. That being said, if you want one of the nice things, I need you to stick it out a little bit.
Yeah, right.
We're not even to 10:30. We're not that old yet, are we?
Come on, man. Draft night only happens one night a year, the first round.
This is true.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how fast some of these picks go. We got the Dolphins are getting ready to pick twice in the draft coming up. Vikings will pick before us. Kind of interested to see where the Steelers go, what they pick.
At least all the quarterbacks are gone.
Man, what if a Fields or even a Mac Jones would have fell all the way down to them?
You'd still be nervous just based on history. You'd be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just waiting on this pick to come in here from Arizona.
I hate that it says pick is in and then it's just like
tick, tick,
Yeah.
tick,
Yeah.
tick, tick.
Like the guy fell backstage. And they're like,
Oh, here they're
please
announcing.
help
How
him
is
out.
ESPN get ahead of us now?
Zaven Collins.
Well,
Wow, kind of a reach.
Take that one out for the Browns.
16, kind of a reach at 16.
They're solid at linebacker.
It depends on what you place on linebacker.
But I mean,
pairing him up with Simmons.
And, I mean, here's the thing: is everything you hear about
J.J. Watt's there. Chandler Jones is it? Chandler Jones, right? Yeah. He's there.
It's crazy.
That defense is legit.
Yeah.
We're only 10 picks out now. So if it goes like the first 10 picks, we're only 2.5 hours away, folks. Strap up. It's going to be a wild 2.5 hours. Zaven Collins is a guy a lot of people had mocked to the Browns all the way down at 26. So did we think, I mean, people were saying JOK from Notre Dame was going to be the first linebacker off the board, right?
I think Parsons was pretty much Parsons.
I forgot about Parsons.
But after Parsons, it was JOK.
Yeah, and so, I mean, almost every mock I saw had Collins.
But you're looking
close to us.
Collins and JOK, completely different players. I mean, look, they're different. Their
I think
size.
Collins is more of your traditional middle linebacker.
Yeah,
correct.
Interesting. What'll be interesting is do they move him to one of the edge? Because I mean, you got J.J. Watt, but eventually J.J. Watt's not going to be able to be an every down workhorse.
That's one thing about Zaven that they were talking about was he can stand up and be that linebacker and get down and rush off the edge.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they went up, they got their guy. Barmore's still sitting here, but I think Oakland's got to take linemen. I think Darrisaw's got to be their pick, the right pick.
Yeah, that means they're
or
going to
not Oakland, Vegas. Sorry, I'm still saying Oakland, which I'm thinking Vegas next year is where the draft. I think is that where the draft's at
because it was supposed to be
year?
there last year.
Yeah, so it'll be out
awesome,
there.
by the way.
Yeah, it was
the Death
sweet.
Star looking stadium. I mean,
I would love, a goal of mine is if the Browns play out there to get tickets to go out
That'd
to that
be
game.
sweet.
It's an awesome stadium.
So we all agree that Vegas needs a lineman, so they're taking either a receiver or a running back.
yeah,
Is that
who's the fastest guy out there?
right? Exactly.
Because that's who he's taking. Man,
Somebody said Patrick Surtain's still out there, but he's not. He was already selected.
He went to
Surtain is gone.
Denver, right?
Yeah.
Denver to play with Aaron Rodgers here in a few, or whenever that trade goes through.
That would be nuts. That would be absolutely insane.
I mean, why do you pass? Because that team, I'm sorry, Drew Lock blows. He's not your quarterback. You know that. You traded for Teddy Bridgewater. You traded a 6th-round pick. He's not your guy either. You've got Mac Jones and Justin Fields on the board, and you don't take either of them, and you don't trade the pick? I'm sorry. There's got to be something else going on.
Unless they think Bridgewater is a guy that can fill.
Dude, anybody who watched last year knows he's not the guy.
yeah, and then
you think?
I mean,
Who? Teddy Bridge?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a veteran.
He wasn't
He's a
great
veteran
last year. I mean, he wasn't the worst quarterback ever, but he wasn't like he was for that 5-game stretch we saw with the Saints.
Right.
But then again, the Saints have Sean Payton. I mean, they're loaded. They're one of the most well-run organizations in all of football, and they have one of the best offensive-minded coaches in all of football. I feel like Sean Payton kind of gets swept under the radar a little bit when we start talking about like the best coaches. I mean, Sean Payton's one of the best.
Yeah.
I listened to an interview that they had on my way to work the other day, and they had Sean Payton on talking they had Drew Brees talk about Sean Payton, and he said the biggest thing that worked out with them is when Drew went to New Orleans to meet with Payton. It was right there from the get-go that they were building an offense together. That was what Drew would excel at, and I think that's so many things like in the NFL where you see a quarterback doesn't work out. It's because the coach is saying, this is what we're doing because this is what I want to do, and they don't make it work for both.
Yep.
And I think Stefanski with Baker, we saw that it worked because he highlighted what Baker excelled at.
Good coaches, they fit their system to the player. They don't make the player fit the system. You know, that they know how to get the Ravens, as much as I hate them, they have done a great job with Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson gets drafted on a team and they try to tell him he's got to be a straight drop-back passer, he's done already. He's not
Bill Polian, if he would have drafted him as a wide receiver. Remember, he said he couldn't play quarterback.
You know what I mean? And credit the Ravens. They saw what they had in him, and then they structured the offense around him, and they keep building on that. And, you know, it's allowed the guy to be the league MVP.
Yeah.
A guy who can't really throw was as league MVP at quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for everybody else listening out there, tonight's exciting. We get one pick tonight. We're going to get multiple picks tomorrow night. Yeah. NFL draft rounds 2 and 3 starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So it'll be a late one. Picks should go a little bit quicker. Browns, you're sitting at 59, 89, and 91. So we'll have 3 picks tomorrow in the 2 rounds. And I expect us to draft at least 2. We might not do the back-to-back, the 89, 91. We might get rid of one of those.
To move up tonight.
Maybe. I mean, that's what it's still on the cards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're just now halfway through.
We're getting to that point, though, where we've seen teams move up for a first and a third that I don't know if we need to give up a third anymore to move up where we're at.
True.
Might be 4th or 5th. I don't know.
Or we trade out.
Oh, the Raiders pick is in. It hasn't been announced yet.
All right, so we'll let you guys know here in about 20 minutes.
They actually went with tackle out of Alabama, Alex Leatherwood.
Wow, really early, because I saw a lot of stuff saying he was mocked to go to the Ravens late in the first round.
I'll tell you what, though, what's his name? GM out there, John Gruden. What's his name? McCoy or something? Who's the GM? Mayock. Mike Mayock. Mayock. I mean, we saw last year they reached on some guys, at least guys that everybody thought they reached on. That they said they were more into, character, they fit the team, that kind of stuff, more than, what other people were saying about their talent. So, but
worked out well for them.
Yeah. Between this pick, I'm going to give away some more stuff.
All right.
I think this is Blake's favorite part, is just to get to go away and give away stuff.
Yeah, so with the Raiders, we've said this on the show before and talked about it. I don't know what they're doing out there in Las Vegas. I mean, how do you get rid of essentially, it was virtually their whole offensive line.
Yeah.
And then what do you go spend money on in free agency? Another running back when you've already got a lead back in Josh Jacobs. It just didn't make any sense to me. You're going to stack up on running backs, but nobody to block for them.
Right, yeah, that doesn't, I don't know. They got a lot of money tied up in their coach.
Yeah.
John Gruden's going to be there for a while.
$10 million a year.
You think that, but Leatherwood, I mean, you're getting a big guy, big, physical, great graded lineman out of Alabama. He's got great length. Good pick. Good pick for the Raiders.
Where was he getting mocked to?
I saw him a lot of times getting mocked in the early second round even.
Yeah, it was late first, pick. Earliest I think I've ever seen him go was the Ravens at 27.
Yeah.
And that was after they made their trade. Now they got 2 picks in the first round that they were taking him at 27. They were getting a receiver.
Says he doesn't quite have, maybe you said this, I'm sorry, doesn't quite have the athleticism you want from a top-tier tackle.
Yeah. Yep, I'm seeing that.
But they say he's pro-ready, depth in his pass sets, nice balanced kick slide. All this offensive line stuff that I'm sure Blake could comment on if he was sitting here.
Right, yeah, but he's down there, calling out raffle tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the star of the show.
Yeah, so now we got the Dolphins are going to be back on the clock.
All right, so do you guys think they're going running back here?
They could use one.
And if they do, is it Najee or is it Travis Etienne?
Yeah.
I think Najee Harris is going to be like a Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I think he really is. And he's as physical a running back as Derrick Henry, but he's way better at pass catching than Derrick Henry is or probably will ever be. Because, Derrick Henry, that's not his game.
That's not,
Yeah, but he can do both. And Etienne, he's not a power running back, but, man, he's almost got that Le'Veon Bell suddenness to his run to where he can make something happen himself.
Yeah.
So either way, you're getting a solid running back.
Yeah.
And did not feel like Travis Etienne was in college forever.
Yeah,
it felt like the guy was there a decade.
Yeah.
That every time you're watching Clemson's, they're in the bowl game again, or they're in the Final Four. Who's Etienne still there?
Yeah. The pick is in, so.
Yeah. I see guys.
Austin Hooper jersey just given away.
Oh, nice. So we got Neil in the chat here says, Andrew Berry, come on, make a trade. But what do we? At this point, look at the names on the board, and we are going. We're close to getting into the 20s now.
All right.
I don't know if they're going to trade now.
I don't think so either.
I mean,
so how about this? ESPN draft predictor, for anybody who's watching ESPN, 60% chance that Leatherwood was going to be available at pick 46.
Yeah.
Now, that is such a Raiders thing to do.
At 46, he just went at 17.
Yep.
That was all right. So it was like last year. What did they do? You've got Jerry Jeudy, you got CeeDee Lamb on the board, and they say, nope, we want Henry Ruggs.
Oh wow, there goes our last prize.
Was it?
I was just watching. Last prize, signed Kareem Hunt jersey was our grand prize tonight. Same guy who won the Lawnmower 3.0 won both prizes.
This guy's coming out of here just.
Oh my goodness! So the Miami Dolphins select
Jalen Phillips,
the edge rusher out of Miami,
the guy with the injury problems.
So the guy who was touted as the clear, far and away, I do believe.
Oh yeah.
Best talent at edge rusher
100%.
in this draft class.
Top 5 pick, they said.
Top 5 talent. Yep. So he was the guy that if you wanted an elite edge rusher out of this class, Jalen Phillips is that talent.
And where does he go? Miami.
DF Sports saying, let's go, Phillips is gone.
Yeah, it was his injury history that made him drop this far. He actually had to retire from college football due to concussion. Concussions, and he had something else too, wasn't it?
He had a laundry list of problems.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Wow.
Like,
yeah. I did want to say, did you, before I forget and people leave, a little bit off topic, did you want to get any pictures of our prize winners of those or no? I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but Blake had mentioned it earlier, so.
He's up and about.
Yeah, let him take those.
Yeah, he's just walking around here for you guys that can't see. He's just walking around like he owns the place. Josh had to do the show doc for us tonight.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Hey, you ready to come back to work, or are you gonna go get a drink, something to eat?
All right, so what?
I haven't eaten yet. I know that might surprise everybody.
But you just—I don't know if you saw, but Jalen Phillips just got drafted to the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, he's good, but that's a risk.
It is.
And they took him at 18. And while you were gone, ESPN had a stat that Leatherwood, who was taking at 17, had a 60% chance of being available at 46.
So
30-pick reach.
Yeah.
By the Raiders.
I mean, that's what they do. Is he fast? What was his 40 time?
He's like 350, so I'm not thinking he's too light on his feet.
Man. I mean, to be honest, with the way this is shaping up, the Browns are going to get somebody
talented,
very good.
Dude, we're sitting at 20. I don't think we're trading, guys. Get ready to stick it till 26, because.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see us trading up. We got the Washington football team on the clock. Needs QB, wide receiver, tight end, tackle, linebacker. So maybe this is JOK who's still sitting on the board.
It's crazy that he's still there.
QBs, there's really nobody, I don't think, at this spot.
No.
Wide receivers, there's some guys available, but, this is kind of early for them, too, a little bit.
Elijah Moore.
Bateman.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
But right now, the way the last couple picks have gone,
whatever.
Anybody. Don't look at best available because it's totally up in the air.
Hell, I might get drafted. That'd be a big reach. Oh, hang on, my phone's ringing. No. We just gave out all the prizes.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So, we had some big winners. Tuscaloosa County Browns backer guy won the Hooper jersey. And then a kid I actually coached in 8th grade football just won the Kareem Hunt jersey. So congratulations to everybody. And if there is anybody that was here at Hoodle Town tonight that is now listening on YouTube, thank you guys so much for coming out. This was, especially, we're still under some COVID stuff. We can't be up and moving around. It rained today, so we couldn't have the cornhole going like we thought. Yep. This turned out awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. And just to update everybody, we will not be able to do the call-ins like we thought we were. We had some guests lined up tonight. We were going to bring in Brian Bosard from Deep Fried Draft. We wanted to talk to Barry Shuck from Dogs by Nature. Lee Shelko from the Honolulu Hawaii Browns backers was supposed to come on with us, but
we'll get their
technology
thoughts.
just sometimes when it doesn't work, you just roll with it, baby.
We'll say, we have us and Kyle, who's doing an awesome job over there.
Yes,
and that's it. It's not, we're not NFL live or anything like that. So, but thank you guys for being here with us. And to be honest, I think we're going to get kicked out of our establishment before here too long.
Oh, did you have a chat?
I think I'm hearing rumors that they're going to close at 11.
Okay.
Now I don't know if they're going to kick us out at 11 or if they're going to let us do our thing for a little bit longer, but. So if we do get kicked off, at least I'm okay with getting out of here and hopping back on via Zoom on YouTube or something, whatever we have to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay. I'll be awake for the Browns.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We'll be with you guys. You know, we can go to somebody's house if we have to. You know,
live from Justin Charles's man cave.
yeah. Like I said, I don't know if they're gonna kick us out, but I heard rumors on the rumor mill.
We're 8 picks away right now. Washington's pick is in. It's just about how quick some of these picks,
They're
get
on a
through.
TV commercial, so that's why this one's going to take forever.
Yeah, and then you got the New York Football Giants get the pick at 20. They traded way back, 9 spots back to pick at 20, so Chicago could go up and get Fields. And they're probably going edge because they needed a tackle and a guard. Well, they traded back, and all the tackles and guards are gone.
Yep.
So now,
no, Darishaw's still there, right? Darishaw, the one guy, he's still out there.
So now that we kind of have a better idea who might be available there at 26, who's the guy you want the Browns to grab now? Because it almost looks, a lot can happen between there. 6 edge rushers can get picked in a row, but it's almost like we're going to get one of these guys that we didn't really think we had a shot at getting. Russo's out there. Azeez Ojulari's out there.
Kwity Paye's out there.
Kwity Paye is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there is.
And I just got the update on the Washington football team.
All right, what do you got?
They just took linebacker Jamin Davis out of Kentucky.
Jamin Davis, the guy who was going in like 6th round. Pro Football Focus. I don't know if you're listening, but you might want to next year for your mock draft simulator tweak a little thing.
We got him in the 3rd and 4th round every time we did a mock this year.
Yeah.
This guy's we said this guy's stock was just rising and rising and rising. That he went from being a 4th round guy to like a fringe 3rd, 2nd to 3rd. I didn't think 1st.
Yeah.
Not above JOK. I mean,
they had him mocked to the Browns at 26, and we were like, "Whoa, that's really."
I mean,
that's where Mel Kiper had him going. Now it's like Mel Kiper, Todd. I was like, come on now, like,
dude, we're getting to a point though where the Browns are gonna.
They're gonna get who they want.
So now we're saying that we don't think we need to trade up because somebody's gonna fall to us.
We don't need to trade at all.
But there's good enough. Yeah, but like Kwity Paye.
Okay, all right.
At one point, we thought we were going to have to give up a ton to go get him. Now,
correct.
We might just be swapping 1st-round picks and
a 4th, 5th,
and a 4th or a 5th, or even a 3rd. I don't care.
This is the point, though. To what you've said all along here is we don't need 9 picks in this draft. So if they're, and that's the thing, that we don't know what the Browns have done. Like if they've identified a guy, like if they're sitting there saying, "We need Kwity Paye. That's our guy," go get him. Right now's the time.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
and the more that the Browns just sit back and wait, if they don't do that and don't go get their guy, it kind of worries me that they really didn't have a guy, or maybe one of their guys was a J.C. Horn or something. You know what I mean? But like if they don't move up to say, okay, hey, we went up and we showed you, we went up, we got that guy. Maybe they're not sold on anybody.
Well, this could be too, where they say, all right, let's sit here, take the best whatever position we want at 26, and then they know that they're going to trade back early 2nd round.
Yeah,
and maybe they take like a Kwity Paye or a Gregory Russo, and then they come back tomorrow early and get Asante Samuel.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still cornerbacks, very good cornerbacks.
Farley, Newsome.
That Jevin Holland from Oregon's still out there. I think he's kind of safety
from Morgue still out there.
Yep.
You've been wanting
about
him.
Trevon Moore.
Yeah, you've been wanting him from like the first mock we did.
Oh my gosh, this is what kind of long night it's been. Guys, trade up for Trevon Moore. Go
right.
It's crazy who's still available.
Yeah,
Barmore, the 12th overall ranked guy, still there.
Yep.
Are we the only ones who are getting like my big toes tingling just like thinking about all the possibilities? Because I did not think. I mean, has there been a single edge rusher taken?
Jalen Phillips,
the best one available.
The broken kid.
The broken kid. He was one hit away from.
Yeah.
YouTube chat I'm seeing a lot of JOK. People are big on JOK.
He's sliding, and it's crazy because he's.
I will say he was at least an A, if not an A+ every time I took him on the mock simulator.
At 26,
at 26.
Especially if he's a hybrid linebacker safety cut type guy. We saw Joe Woods wants to play 3 corners, 3 safeties.
Yeah.
And so if one of your linebackers out there, you put that guy. Maybe we're not as high on Jacob Phillips. Maybe he steps in and he plays that hybrid role. That can help cover some of these guys. And Anthony Walker's going to be the linebacker in there for the run support.
Yeah, that could be too. I think it's so interesting. Like you said, we're getting to that point now where it's like, take who the top guy on your draft board is.
Yeah, go get him now.
Every time somebody takes somebody and it's a pick that we go, wow, that's a stupid pick.
Thank you,
better for the Browns.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
Washington.
I always
great,
like it when they
go
pick
ahead.
before us because you know they're going to push somebody good our way.
It's I can't get a read on them because when Gruden and Mayock first took over, it was these guys are going to be a dumpster fire. And then they came out and had like a surprisingly good season.
Yeah.
But then they drafted last year and they reached on all these people. And last year they were, just okay. We freaking lost to them. But
I was at that game. There was a weather game.
You know what I mean? But I can't get a read on. Are they stuck in mediocrity? Are they stuck in? I guess you can't go 8-8 anymore. Are they stuck in? 7-9, 9-7 from now on. It just who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, so
7 and 9, 9-7 is still 16.
Whatever. I suck at math.
I'm looking here.
I'm a podcast guy, not a math guy.
That's right.
I'm looking here at what JOK, his size. Yeah, it's a little underwhelming. 6'1", for a linebacker.
Your linebackers aren't huge though. Your linebackers are almost sometimes like your.
Hey, Zach.
They're your stocky.
Rashad Bateman's still on the board.
I said wide receiver, and man,
Zach just went from 6 to midnight.
Dude, I'm telling you that if wide receiver is there and Bateman and Moore are there, I could see the Browns. And I didn't feel that way until Andrew Berry came out with his press conference saying that we wasn't drafting for need now rather than he was drafting for need. And I was like, he's got to be looking at somebody like that and saying, hey, I got to say, we don't need him right now, but we need him in the future.
Somebody's saying get pity. Is that
Quiddy?
Yep. Quiddy pay.
I mean,
the dude's a stud. I actually and I didn't watch the whole thing, but they did like an ESPN, one of those draft prospect special things about, his mom being a refugee from, and I forget the country. I have to bring it up real quick, but how they came over here. I guess it was a pretty cool story.
I just look at teams like when Denver drafted Bradley Chubb, and they put him next to a prime Von Miller.
Yeah.
And that was.
That's the guy I wanted.
You know what I mean?
Forever.
Think about that. I remember that draft when we took Nick Chubb and not Bradley Chubb, and I was like, you took the wrong Chubb.
Yeah.
I was an idiot apparently, but to put somebody, if we could put like Quiddy Pay next to Myles Garrett, and then we can be versatile with Jadeveon Clowney. He's a premier run stopper.
Yep.
Imagine putting Jadeveon Clowney on a guard. Rush the passer from the inside.
Jadeveon Clowney is going to, that's great that we have him, but there's no guarantees for next season.
Yeah, with his injury history this season.
Right, so Quiddy Pay's that guy that can come in this year, and he can fill a role when we need him to, but he's kind of the best of both worlds, and it's a long-term add to the team.
If we somehow landed him, is he a day one starter?
I got a thing here that says Matt Miller says heard often that the Giants liked Quiddy Pay. Never mind, doesn't matter.
That picks in.
The New York Giants have selected wide receiver Kadarius Toney from Florida.
Kadarius Toney, the guy's tiny. He's Tariq Cohen size.
What's going on right now?
Do these people know something we don't know?
Kadarius Toney's not even the top wide receiver in the draft. He's a great talent. He's a great talent.
Yeah.
But he's a Sterling Shepard.
All right, so
guy.
Kadarius Toney is 6 feet, 193.
I don't even know who he is.
Florida.
So this past year, 11 games, caught 70 passes for 977 yards, 10 touchdowns.
Wide receiver. Where was he mocked?
They said he's not
late first round.
Late first, early mid second.
My friend Cody Stress, the Ravens fan, thought that they were going to get him maybe at 31.
Oh,
late in the draft. That's where late in the first round.
Says he's not a very polished route runner. He's got a lot of work to do to succeed in the NFL as far as that goes. They up in the air about his catch and traffic ability, contested catch ability.
I know
he's
there's
6 feet.
I know there's so many rules with like how hard you can get hit now, but if you can't catch in traffic, good luck in the NFL. Also, route running. These wide receivers who come in that are just great athletes in college and they dominate everybody with their speed and their athleticism and their size. You have to be able to run routes, crisp routes. Guys like Julian Edelman is, he doesn't dominate.
He was a
anybody.
quarterback.
Yeah. He doesn't dominate anybody physically, but he's one of the best route runners in the league.
That's Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is not blowing the top off anybody with his speed, but he'll get separation.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You look at a guy like Henry Ruggs last year, fastest guy in the draft. Well, how did he do on the field in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, and look at Tyreek Hill.
These are fast DBs on the field too.
Tyreek Hill is insanely fast, but he has worked on his craft, and he's a much better route runner now than he was early in his career.
Yep.
I mean, for the first couple of years, Tyreek Hill was basically like, hey, just run straight, and hopefully you can outrun this guy. Now, I mean, the guy gets...
all streaks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you think about now that offense in New York, adding Tony in there. Now you have Darius Slayton, pretty good wide receiver for like a number 2, fringe number 3 wide receiver type. You got Kenny Golladay, you got Sterling Shepard. You just brought in the speedster John Ross, who was signing like, hey, this is going to be my new start. Now he's going to be competing with Tony, who's going to be the slot guy. But Daniel Jones, you got plenty of guys to throw to, so that ain't an excuse anymore.
So if Daniel Jones does not succeed this year, now
it's a quarterback next year.
Done with him. So
yes, it'll be a quarterback next year. You got Saquon Barkley, Devontae Booker's now their backup. I mean, man, their offense has got some. Evan Ingram at tight end.
Yeah. You see Eddie in the chat here said this draft is all over the place. It's getting weirder by the second.
Yes, it is, man.
Man, we are experiencing this together.
I'm done doing mock drafts because
I wasted all this time.
This is the first year I've done a decent amount of mock drafts, and
I'd say that's a pretty good comparison there Eddie made of JOK kind of being similar to a Devin White size. Now, I don't think he can maybe have the impact Devin White had on the Buccaneers defense, but they kind of play the same style.
Devin White. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up some stats on him. Okay, so he's 6 feet. He's not a super big linebacker. He's a little heavier, it looks like, but Devin White's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
He didn't suck.
So we got my favorite team is on the clock.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, everybody. Yeah, that's right. We're the Colts fans.
Still there.
Right. You got wide receivers. They're one of the people looking for wide receivers. I mean, you got Carson Wentz now.
This could be a bait
at quarterback. You get Phillip Rivers took you about just as far as Phillip Rivers could get you.
Yeah.
I mean, his arm ran out of juice there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And he's not nimble on his feet anymore.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, maybe I'll run through these pick grades real quick so far just to update everybody.
Yeah.
So Trevor Lawrence, number 1, elite. Yeah. Zach Wilson, elite. Trey Lance, very good. Kyle Pitts, elite. Jamar Chase, elite. Jalen Waddle, very good. Penny Sewell, very good. J.C. Horn, average.
Wow. Maybe just because of the spot that they had him at.
PFF doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
Patrick Surtain, average.
I would have taken easy.
Blake wants a refund on that.
Devontae Smith, elite. Justin Fields, elite.
What?
Micah Parsons, average. Okay. Rashawn Slater, elite. Elijah Vera Tucker, average. Mac Jones, elite. Zaven Collins, average.
Oh, this one here I agree with.
Alex Leatherwood, poor.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
To the Las Vegas Raiders.
I agree with that one.
Poor.
Keep going, because there's another one that I agree with, too.
Jalen Phillips, very good. Jamin Davis, below average.
I agree with that. I think they reached. for Jamin Davis.
Oh, yeah. Kadarius Toney, above average.
You see this every year, though, these guys who they have okay game tape, but then they come out and they do these pro workouts, these combine workouts, and they look great in shorts. And people start buying the hype just because they're athletic freaks. They can jump higher, they can run fast.
Yeah.
And they start moving them up their draft board. I mean, Jamarcus Russell, he got drafted number 1 just because he could throw it the length of the field on his knees. Well, how many times do you get to do that in the game?
Right. Oh, well, we've talked about it on the podcast before.
It's my favorite story.
It's the best story of draft. The draft stories ever of they sent him home with a tape and asked him if he watched it, and he came back and he told him that he learned all this stuff, and the tape was blank. There was nothing on it.
Wasn't there something too like they put $100 bill in the
No,
back
that's the movie Draft Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go home, you drunk, Justin.
Well, I thought that we confused.
But that's the same. That is the same concept.
Lied about it.
It's the same concept, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah, literally they sent him home and said, hey, watch his film tape, come back and tell us what you learned. He came back and explained a bunch of stuff, and it was a blank. There's nothing on it.
It's awesome.
It was great, Coach. I learned a lot.
Yeah, really learned how they had to break down the 3-4 defense and really anticipate, who was going to be open.
Well,
really? Well, because I sent you with a Moana DVD or something home with you.
I'm going to say it's looking like we're going to get to our 26th pick tonight here, hopefully, because, the Colts pick is already in. Then it's 22, 23.
Well, there's they need everything that's available. Yeah. Wide receiver. Yeah. There's still a tackle, I think, on the board, right, with Darashaw.
Yeah.
Or a lineman at least. And then edge rusher. So everything they want
have your pick there.
Is there.
Yeah, I wish everybody get ready so we can get through this before, we get the boot.
Well, come on now, Colts. Just waiting for it to pop up here, but who do you guys think they're taking?
Wide receiver.
You think it's Bateman, or do you think they're taking like Elijah Moore?
They're taking the better one.
I will, but the thing is, okay, so they've got Michael Pittman Jr. who can play more of that outside receiver role,
right?
But they need somebody in the slot because T.Y. Hilton's not going to be around much longer, and he's old.
He is
very
getting old.
So
yeah, I agree with that.
I'm thinking like Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, one of those guys might fill that role if they go receiver.
Yep, I could see that.
Yeah, says the pick is in. Oh, they're just reviewing the Colts trade now to get Carson Wentz in there.
Oh my goodness.
What do we think about Carson Wentz this year? Is he bouncing back?
Well, it can't be any worse than it was in Philly.
Man, I watched some of those games and it was so bad,
brutal.
That Dallas game where he broke out to the left and then didn't see the guy, just completely full speed rushing him and just got murdered was pretty awful.
Yeah, so, looking at their team, their depth chart, they got T.Y. still there, Michael Pittman Jr., Zach Pascal.
See the pick?
Yep.
Go ahead.
They just took Kwity Paye.
Yeah.
Kwity Paye.
So their defense gets better.
Yeah.
They already had a good defense.
We already beat it once, so.
We shredded it for a half, and then we weren't that great in the second half.
Well, we quit trying. We were already up by so much. We had to keep the spread, for Vegas.
Yeah.
So I think next year's Tennessee, and this is where they're going to go. They have to go wide receiver.
Yeah, because they just lost Corey Davis.
Yeah, and they lost Jonnu Smith. They only have A.J. Brown right now. I get that he's a tank, but you got to have somebody else too.
So now that Kwity Paye's off the board, is there anybody out there or are we just sitting at 26?
Oh, we're sitting.
We're okay.
We're sitting.
There's still guys there.
Kwity Paye, though, man, that'd have been nice.
That would have been nice.
But it doesn't matter. We're taking wide receiver.
Yeah, he was from Michigan. We didn't need him.
Okay, I don't know this name, but you know who the number 2 wide receiver is in Tennessee right now?
Who?
Nick Westbrook-Ikhine.
Oh.
They needed wide receiver.
Yeah, it looks like they're going wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who did they take? Elijah Moore? You got to think Elijah Moore, right?
So, A.J. Brown's kind of like their big hulking wide receiver. So it's almost like they need that quick underneath guy.
They do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they do got Josh Reynolds. They signed from the Rams, who's not bad. He was like a third street. He was like a third number 3 out there, which a number 3 on that team is pretty good. But
actually, he was more like the number 4 when they still had Cooks and with the other 2, Woods and
Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this offense, and I'm thinking Ryan Tannehill doesn't really have anybody to throw to other than A.J. Brown. You got Derrick Henry. Obviously, they're going to run the football a lot.
But I'm sure they'd like to open up that offense a little bit.
Man, they got 5 running backs on the roster. Derrick Henry, Jeremy McNichols, who I think was a rookie last year. Was he the rookie last year?
I think it might have been 3 years now.
Is that 3 years ago? Was Darrington Evans the rookie last year?
Yes, that's who it was. Yep,
okay.
Evans. Yep.
Okay, so but he's listed as their 5th running back. They got Deontay Foreman. He's been in the league probably 6 or 7 years now. But, man,
I see.
They got Bud Dupree, though, in free agency. They got him.
Yeah, good job.
Kwity Paye sitting here going off the board at 21. I'm just like, he was so close, and
that's why I'm like, why didn't we do anything?
But maybe they didn't have him flagged as their guy. I just saw a thing pop up here. It said it's been a wild week for Kwity Paye. He had a very serious health scare. His heart was red flagged during a pre-draft physical this week.
Okay.
In the end, teams they cleared Paye completely. But
that's still cause for concern a little bit. But let's take Jalen Phillips at 18.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
I do want to say, if for you guys listening right now, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We did hit 1,000 subscribers this week,
but we want to.
Yeah, well, next stop 1 million. But no, thank you to everybody who has subscribed so far. I remember when we first started and we had like 2 or 3, and it took us forever to get to 100.
We begged people for the whole season, please
to get to 100.
To get to 100,
Man,
and then for us to just kind of take off and we hit this 1,000 mark. It makes me super excited to do this stuff like all the time.
Yeah.
Just to see the reaction, even just tonight, constant comments coming in this comment section, keeping this thing interesting. So thank you guys so much. We're going to have to do another giveaway. We're just going to keep giving you guys stuff for being so awesome. And spread the word.
All right, so what do we got? All right, so the
Titans are still picking. Titans are still picking.
Pick's not in yet.
I think they got to go wide receiver. If they don't,
they're just trying to get us kicked out of here like 2 picks before the Browns.
Yeah, right. Well, see, all right. So the thing I could see, I could see them.
I'm putting my foot down.
Like a wolf on Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. I'm not gonna finish the rest of it, but if you haven't seen that movie, also check that out.
Yeah, go watch that movie.
Yeah, tonight.
Oh man. No, I was gonna say I could see them going tackle here with Darrisaw.
Darrisaw's still there.
Just because
Barmore's
they lost.
Still sitting here.
I know, yeah.
I mean,
So if he's there,
is Trevon Morg.
Yeah.
So if Newsome, Morg, or Barmore sit at 26, who the Browns picking? Because Morg is awesome, but I also love the idea of having look how much havoc Haloti Ngata wrecked for the Ravens. Just because how good he was in the middle. He completely dominated the middle.
For years.
Is Barmore that good, though?
They're saying he is. I'm sold.
Sounds great, bro.
So here's my thing with Barmore. I think he is really good, but that interior defensive line, we can address that later in the draft. There's decent talent later on that we can get a competent enough, rotational piece in there. We don't need to do that right here, right now.
Like Alan McNeil or something like that.
Yeah, where was he out of? Like NC State or something?
Yeah. And then there was that Bobby Brown, whatever, out of Texas A&M. And there are players out there. We got Tommy Tagai out of Ohio State. We've talked about. I mean, the interior defensive linemen. I mean, the depth is there this year.
Unless something really crazy happens, there's going to be somebody very good available at 26.
Guys that we never thought were going to.
Absolutely.
That we were talking about trading up to get. And we could have got him at 31. Yeah. We could trade back a few picks.
Yeah. If we sit here, first of all,
if we trade with the Ravens,
Poodletown's never going to let us back if we wait all this time and the Browns trade out of the first. They're never letting us back. But I'm about to get on the horn here to the Titans
and say what's going on.
Yeah, what do you need all 10 minutes for?
Hey, we're picking at 26, right, guys? Hurry up.
Send the damn cart. Let's go.
They're taking their good old time. They're probably trying to figure out which receiver maybe they want to take here, unless somebody's trying to trade up.
Oh, they're probably trading. Put 10 more minutes on the clock.
Picks in.
There we go. I just don't understand. I mean, I guess I've never been part of a war room. Maybe if this podcast gets big enough.
You saw how crazy it was on draft day. You watched that movie today.
That's true. I did watch that movie today. And then I watched behind the scenes of that movie.
Whoa.
I was all in on draft day.
Okay.
So you're up on your Sonny Weaver.
Oh gosh.
Me and Sonny Weaver are tight.
Oh, he watches it for Jennifer Gardner, though. That's probably really why he watches the movie.
I love that movie, but one of the corniest lines is when he's like, "Can we just talk football for a minute?" She's like, "We can always talk football." I'm like, okay. I'm like, come on now. I love this movie. But
second best quote of that movie, I guess.
Yeah. Eat your pancakes.
That's my favorite part, the pancakes.
If you haven't seen Draft Day, go watch Draft Day. Great Cleveland sports movie. Second only, in my opinion, to Major League.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Major League,
something's wrong with you.
Unsubscribe. We don't need you watching our podcast. No, I'm just playing.
Man, this one's taking a while. I don't know why.
Yeah, get the pick in. Let's go. They're about to turn the lights off. I would say these people got to go home and work in the morning, but I don't think they open in the morning.
No.
So, let's go Tennessee.
Watch them take some off-the-wall receiver like a Kadarius Toney going way ahead of some of these other guys. I guess you could see Terrace Mitchell go here, too.
I just got it in, I think.
Do it.
If this is right.
Do it.
Caleb Farley.
Oh,
is what I'm seeing. If that's correct, I don't know if that's correct, 100% correct, but that was on.
Well, okay, yeah, they're saying hearing Farley for the Titans.
Man,
looks like it's up.
So that's another corner off the board, which is a corner I didn't want to be on the board when we picked.
This infamous gesture says Browns are going to be the first 17-win season in NFL history. Completely agree. We're going undefeated.
I like that comment. That's a good one there.
Yeah, Gage Tucker. I think both, the way it's looking, both those guys might be on the board.
Who we got?
Owe or JOK.
Yeah.
I think I've probably taken JOK in that scenario just because of the talent you're getting at pick 26.
Is Owe more of a project?
I don't think he's a project.
He's a freak athlete, but is he polished?
Well, he was the guy that didn't record a sack at all last year, and that's the one thing.
And we gave Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot of crap for not having a 100-yard game in college.
That's true.
You know, and if you're an edge rusher, you have basically one job. It's to get sacks.
Yeah.
And do we need two players on the team that had no sacks last year between him and Jadeveon Clowney?
It's not a bad argument you make there, Blake.
Yeah, Caleb Farley. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
So now you have to think if the Browns are going corner, it's Newsome or, I know Asante
I'm telling you
Samuel Jr.'s
what.
out there.
I'm telling you what. If we take cornerback and it's one of those two guys with everybody else that's available,
I'm never hosting a live draft party again.
this would be a failure. It'd be a failure if we took one of those two guys.
I think corner, if they do really want that, they can move up tomorrow. And
yes, 100%.
Today, I mean, we're only a couple picks away here, and the board is chock full of guys that we've talked about, like, if they could get this guy or this guy or this guy.
Russo's out there. Aziz is out there. Owe's out there.
Morg's still out there. Bateman's out there.
The Morg thing intrigues me. I want an edge rusher, but
it'd be nice to get that playmaker on the back end. Just,
especially if Delpit, doesn't come back 100% healthy.
That's what stinks is we picked Delpit last year.
And we what was I going to say? I'm sorry. I just had a brain fluctuation.
It's all right.
You're just talking about who you'd want to take at 26. You were just talking Morg would have been there.
But if we don't take an edge in the first round, there's like that Peyton Turner out of Oklahoma. We could get him later.
Houston.
You got Ronnie Perkins out of Oklahoma.
Ronnie Perkins is out of Oklahoma. There's other good edge rushers, especially because we have Jadeveon Clowney. If we're looking for more of a rotational piece.
For guys to learn next year, because unless something miraculously happens, Clowney's a 1 year and done. One and done.
Correct.
We're not going to be able to afford him next year. Not with the other contracts, unless we're cutting some people and really making some room.
Yeah, unless he's so awful this year, he comes back on the veterans minimum. But if he's that bad, we're not bringing him back.
Yep.
Hey, you know what we haven't thrown out there as a possibility?
Najee Harris going to
what
the
Steelers.
Steelers.
What if they trade back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we threw that out there. I said no.
100% could see us trading back. And we could have sat here we're going on.
Do we need to trade
we're
back?
4 hours.
We haven't seen
we're almost 4 hours in.
We haven't seen any trades happen here recently. I don't know how much activity is actually going on right now with teams trying to move up for any of these. I don't know.
Do we need it?
We're going to trade back.
What are we trading back for? We have 9 picks. 9 people. Or what? For future
Save money.
picks?
What my mind went to was future picks.
Save money.
I mean,
I hope not. I'm not saying I want them to. Not one.
You don't got to put a contract on the books.
Yeah, but a rookie you're taking this late in the first round is not making huge
Minnesota is on the clock right now.
They were supposed to pick earlier.
Needs. They've got tackle, guard, edge rusher, safety. So this is where you can see Darisaw go. One of the edge rushers, or this might be the Morg pick. Man. I can see Trevon Moore going to Minnesota and being a beast.
The only thing that it's also, we're really happy that a lot of these guys have slid because we have the opportunity to pick them. A lot of these guys have slid, and now the Steelers have an opportunity to take them.
Right.
In the next pick. Yeah. We were like, they're going to take running back. But now they might be like, hey, Trevon Moore, we could use another safety that'll dominate the AFC.
I think it goes Darisaw, Najee Harris.
Jacksonville. Urban's taken. They got the QB.
Tackle, right?
They got tight end and Tim Tebow.
I was going to say, they don't need a tight end.
They might need Trevon Moore.
Yeah.
Right before us.
But it might not be a bad idea for them to get, if the tackle is still there, to take him because they just drafted Trevor Lawrence, so they need to get a little help in there to protect him.
Right.
Maybe not worry too much about the defense in the first round right now.
I'll tell you what, if Trevor Lawrence is good and Urban Meyer's not an idiot, I mean, they got some talent.
Playoff team?
No.
I mean, who's in their division? We got the Colts.
Yep.
Texans, right?
Yeah.
Texans.
And Titans.
Texans, so they got to go against the Titans and the Colts. I don't know if they're a playoff team this year, but I think they're a team that can put up points possibly. And if you don't bring your A game, they can beat you.
Let's talk about this. So I was listening to Colin Cowherd when the 17-game season came out, and he didn't like it. He said that you're going to have to change your frame of mind, right? Because you're thinking playoffs, right? Playoffs every year, you're thinking you get the 9-7, 8-8. 9-7, you're pretty much in a wild card.
Except for
10-6, you're in. Now I'm going to say 9-8. It doesn't sound right. You're just 9-7, you seem like you were a playoff team. 9-8, you're one game better than 500. Right? I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. It just doesn't seem the same.
Yep.
It's different.
Or you're going to be 10-7. It's going to be different.
So why don't we talk real quick? I know we haven't talked about this, I don't think much, if at all, but what about Deshaun Watson? Because I heard something the other day that there's a good chance he might not even play this year.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. And then you kind of look at, okay, whether Blake thinks he was set up and then this is all a ruse to get him.
The Texans did whatever they had to do to drive down his trade value.
Okay, so no, because there's 5 teams, I think, that wanted him and were pursuing him. They have all backed out.
So I got the pick here real quick if we want to drop it.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so 23rd pick, Minnesota Vikings select Christian Darrisaw, tackle,
out of Virginia Tech.
There we go.
All right, that's fine. We didn't need him. Get him off the board.
Najee Harris says
so you can go back to your Watson take.
They don't even have running back.
A lot of the stuff and the accusations that came out about Watson were some of the same type of accusations that came out against Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown was put on, a little bit of a suspension for that stuff.
How many games was he out?
8.
Now, he had some other stuff. There was other stuff that combined.
Of things. Yeah, he had a lot of things.
Hey, and he's like, hey, I got to take that time off. I'm a Super Bowl champion.
Healthy, yep. Just got another contract, for another year.
3.5, I think, million to go back. I mean, what's crazy what the Bucs did? The Bucs brought everybody back on offense and defense. That's unheard of.
It is.
From a Super Bowl team, and they were able to make that happen. But the Deshaun Watson thing in Houston, I think that he's got to decide, if he's going to play or if he's going to hold out. If he's going to hold out, I think Houston's just going to say, fine, we're not going to let you go.
You want to talk about a team that just was so poorly run into the ground. I mean, the Houston Texans, good Lord.
Bill O'Brien, man. Bill O'Brien.
I mean, seriously, you want to look at an organization that did not know what they were doing. There you go.
Their owner, I mean, that guy needs to sell the team. They got in a new coach. I don't even know who's coaching.
The Baltimore, was it the Baltimore?
It was like the Baltimore,
wide receivers?
Wide receivers coach, special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
Something.
I mean, man, and it's sad because one guy needed a job and he's earned a job. The Kansas City guy. Bieniemy. I mean, that guy needs a job, but then Houston came calling. He was probably like, oh, no way.
No, thank you.
How many picks do we got? Coming up in the drafts. Oh, like none?
Yeah. I saw they added 29 players in free agency.
Who?
This is the most. Houston.
That's a lot of names.
That's over half your team.
Yeah. It's a lot of, hey, welcome to Houston.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people you're not going to know at your first practice. You're going to show up and be like, hey, what's your name?
Yeah.
And you're in the NFL.
What's up? So I do this. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey.
They're going to see number 99 trot out there and be like, hey, JJ. Oh, wait, that was.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Percy, he asked if we're still going at it. We're going to be here until they kick us out, which I'm guessing was supposed to be 9 minutes ago.
His favorite team is on the clock here.
Yeah, what's really cool is we can finally see
Justin let him live.
CLE is listed on the board right now.
The good thing is PFF is up with real time because once these guys pick, the very next team's automatically on the clock. It doesn't matter what is showing on TV.
Yeah.
So the Steelers have actually already been on the clock for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes.
So I can go back real quick.
And the pick is in.
Yeah.
Good. So Quiddy Pay.
I don't know if my
Colts.
wife's over there watching or not, but her Steelers are on the clock.
So Quiddy Pay got an above average grade. Caleb Farley got a very good, and then Darrisaw got an elite grade.
So good for you, Minnesota.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Let's get Pittsburgh the heck out of here. Sorry, Purse. And then get through Jacksonville, and then
it's us.
Here we go, boys.
Let's wrap this up. And go down there and shake some hands and kiss some butts and thank them for letting us be here. So.
Yeah, right.
And then you guys got this packed up, right? I got things to do today.
I'm exhausted. Get me out of here.
I feel like we did a pretty good job of planning the way this was going to go. But you don't really understand how much downtime there is between picks until you try to cover the draft. You know what I mean? So big shout out to everybody in the chat for keeping it entertaining, because without you guys talking to us, who knows what we would have done for the last 4 hours. I would have kept running up and down the stairs, giving away stuff to the people here. But, you guys have made this awesome. And I can't wait to shoot an episode this weekend talking about who we got.
Yeah, it'll be really nice to finally talk about the real players rather than the prospects, what if we get this guy or that guy or trade this? No, this is what happened, and I'm excited for it.
I know we were supposed to have Brian from Deep Fried Draft on. We were supposed to have Barry on. We can definitely try to get these guys on soon to break down.
Yes.
Well, my wife's over there excited.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't seen the pick. Haven't seen the pick coming in.
I got it.
It's go ahead.
It's Najee.
Najee Harris.
Man, I'm telling you what.
All right, boys.
This guy is going to be a problem.
So Browns need to take
AFC.
Barmore, yeah.
Browns need to take Barmore
Stuff
because
that line.
This is one of those things, man, where
Najee Harris. I mean, they just drafted their running back for the next 6 years.
I didn't watch, like I said, I didn't watch a lot of Alabama football until that national championship team. And as awesome as Devontae Smith was in that game, I came away super impressed with Najee Harris.
Oh, Najee Harris is amazing.
I feel like he went super under the radar.
Najee Harris would have won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Like, he'd have won the Heisman.
He had like 26 touchdowns last year.
Yeah,
And
he's insanely good.
I thought his speed and his balance, how many times Ohio State players hit him, and he just kind of stumbled.
Now, the thing is, you said that could be the running back for the next 6 years. He is 23 years old. He's an older running back coming out of college.
Right, he was there every year at Alabama.
He's got 7 years until, he hits that 30 mark.
Well, depends, because a lot of these guys that get run pretty hard into the ground early on in their career, they don't make it that long.
This is true, but he was at Alabama for 4 years, but this was the first year he played. Right?
Second year. He played last year, but he was first 2 years he was a third down, give you a breath type of running back, but I'm telling you, this guy, I've watched him enough over the last 2 years. He's going to be a problem in the NFL. I mean, this guy gives the Steelers what they needed that they've been missing.
That being said, though, they still don't have a great offensive line.
Yeah, well, they got to address. I think that, in looking up on the draft, they got to address center for sure. They lost Pouncey. He retired. But if you're Big Ben, you're thinking, this is just what I needed, a big bruising running back to get the ball to, and then, I still have all these wide receivers that I can throw the ball to with Juju coming back, and I got the rookie.
Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool, who's only going to get better.
Right, Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson's a burner.
Washington.
Yeah, and they got the tight end, Eric Ebron, still there. I mean, offensively, Big Ben wasn't what he used to be, but things might open up a little bit more when now you got to worry about a running back.
Let's hope he still
sucks. The thing is that O-line still isn't that great, though.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
man,
that could be.
There's
a lot of draft left.
They had some late round tackles they were going to get, but everybody reached on them.
TVs are going into power save mode. So.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. So
we're one pick away.
Jacksonville, I'm going to make a prediction. I think that they're going to take Tevin Jenkins, who's a tackle.
So Browns have pick of the litter.
So Browns fans, Josh, your guy's there.
Trevon Ward, take him.
Rashad Bateman.
Let's
all just pick somebody different.
I wouldn't hate that, though.
I'm good with either one of these guys.
J.O.K.
So
I know he's still there.
This is what's crazy.
He could have went top 15.
Yeah, all the guys we like.
Do you want Greg Newsome?
Here's the thing. I think you can take one. There's not that many picks left in the first round. Take the one you love. Trade all the way back up day 2 tomorrow, and first or second pick of the second round.
That's true, because a lot of those guys on this list that we're looking at will still be available tomorrow.
Yeah.
Move up.
This could be sweet. This could be that luxury pick, Zach. Like you said, we could take that receiver now,
right, and then move up and get your other guy,
and get Ojulari or something.
Right.
We don't have to wait till tomorrow. There's still 5 more picks after us.
Wouldn't that be something?
Move back up late first round and grab somebody.
Are we all kind of agreeing here that Barry sitting still at 26 so far and not moving up for anybody has been a good thing?
Yeah, yes. Okay. Yes. The way the draft went, and I think,
absolutely.
I mean, this first round's been crazy. of the, people reaching and quarterbacks falling and, trade. This guy trading within the division with the Cowboys and the Eagles, trading with each other. It's crazy first round.
We got to give a shout out to Eddie in the Netherlands. It's 5:13 in the morning. He's still watching the draft, still watching us on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
he's been with us all night, since we came on at 7:30 or so. We're almost at the 4-hour mark that we've been doing this. So
Jacksonville, they're just going to take up all the they're going to take up all the time. They know Hoodletown's about to kick us out, and they're like, we're just going to make them sweat. Hopefully the Browns don't make us sweat. Let's just let's go get our guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if we draft a receiver, how much PT does he get this year?
I think he gets the amount of PT that he needs.
Because, it's hard. Higgins is awesome. It's hard to get him the ball.
Oh, well, I'll tell you right now, Bateman and his talent, Donovan Peoples-Jones might be going back to
the special teams.
Yeah, the thing with Higgins, and we know this from past experiences, for whatever reason, they don't get him on the field. I don't know why. We don't know why.
But I feel like last year he got a substantial amount of playing time for the first time in a season, and he was good.
Yeah. Man, he was so good last year.
There's so many guys that we can take here that I'm not going to be upset about any of them. If we go Barmore, I'm not upset. If we go Bateman, I'm not upset. If we go Morg, I'm not upset. I can't believe the level of talent that is available here at 26. It's like we don't have a top 10 pick, and we're going to get a top 10, top 15 talent level.
Yeah, it's stupid what's happening right now, but I love it.
So I'm following the Twitter feed to see when live picks and stuff come in, and there's a funny meme that so far in round 1, Alabama players, 6 players taken already. 6 players in the top. Where are we at? 20. This is 25, so 24. 6 of the 24 players taken have been from Alabama.
I don't want to hear it. Ohio State a couple years ago had 2 of the top 3 players go. Was it 2 of the top 3 or 2 of the top 4?
That was last year they had Chase Young and Jeff Okudah go in the
2
top
of the top
5.
3, or in the top 5, and then we had Bosa and Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, and then wasn't it Nick Bosa and the year before? Doesn't matter.
I know a couple years ago, the year that Eli Apple and stuff like that came out, Ohio State had like 6 or 7 players in the first round.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Justin, who we got? Who's going here? You've been
Tevin Jenkins.
What is Urban doing? Make the pick.
Well, he's sipping on a drink, I'm sure, down in Florida, enjoying the nice weather.
He's at Tim Tebow's house. He had to run home to call it in.
Well, like we said, he's got his tight end now.
Yeah.
Him and Tim go way back to Aaron Hernandez.
Can we just discuss that for 1 second? I know this is a little off topic. That national championship team, Florida had Tim Tebow, and then it just was like criminal after criminal.
Was Cam Newton the backup quarterback?
Yeah, Cam Newton was on
the roster.
Aaron Hernandez.
Ted Ginn.
No, Ted Ginn was on the Buckeyes.
Oh, yeah.
But, that team, we talk about, like, there was some stuff going on in that team that was just nuts.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit of everywhere.
Dog.
It's a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Unless it's Ohio State.
I mean, Joe Mixon was at Oklahoma slugging people in restaurants. So.
Hey.
Oh, man.
Hey, by the way, that'll be a quarterback while we were waiting on this pick to come in. That'll be a quarterback that's talked about next year. Next year, the year after, Spencer Rattler out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. I watched him on QB1.
Oh, the pick is in. Oh,
Travis Etienne.
Oh,
don't they have a great running back?
James Robinson.
What are they doing?
It's fine.
Urban said, I don't like him. Get him out.
Holy
Trade him.
crap.
Oh, man.
Urban, you just told him about signing Tebow. What's he do? He takes a running back, the position they don't need. They need a safety. They needed a safety, and Morg is there. So, Browns, what are you going to do? Probably trade out of the first round. That's probably where we're going.
Etienne to the Jags?
Oh, man.
Who saw that one coming?
That's a great pick. Gage Tucker, that's a great pick for
Heck
us.
yeah, leave the board.
Browns going to trade. Robbie's saying the Browns are going to trade back. I hope not.
Don't you speak that into existence, Robbie. I'll
right,
come to wherever you are.
The Ravens are taking either Bateman or Elijah Moore or Rondale Moore after us. They have to take a receiver. They got to.
I don't know if
man.
DF Sports, I don't know if you're out there. I know we weren't able to get you on the show here, but if you're still listening, comment and say what you're thinking here, because, man, there's so many people.
Yeah.
It's our pick of the litter.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
this is nuts. I mean, this is where, okay, I'm just even looking back here at the Saints at 28. And the Saints need a cornerback. So if the Saints were to come to the Browns and say, we'll move, swap us picks 26 to 28, and we'll give you our
first of all,
third round pick.
If we trade back to 28, the dude from Hoodletown's coming up here and beating our asses because they're trying to get the heck up out of here.
I'm so tired. I might fall asleep on the mic. I've been awake for like 20 hours.
I mean, we're still waiting.
I haven't heard much from you.
Okay, Dia Sports, huge on Bateman, so am I.
Yeah.
I mean, man, JOK, you can't be mad if he takes him. I mean, man. A lot of people in the comments want JOK.
He's a stud.
There's so many good players.
You know who's going to get it? Baltimore take JOK.
Yeah, he'll go on to wreck us for 12 years.
So the thing is, we can't be mad about whoever Baltimore takes after us because there's so many people available. This is awesome. We stuck at 26, and look where we're going to land.
Yeah, so I got to watch the
Andrew
feed
Berry
down there
like
by the bar. We've lost our television up here.
Yeah, cool.
I got Andrew Berry looks like a genius, by the way.
Yeah.
He didn't
He literally did nothing.
He had no cell service in the hospital. He's like, please, hopefully.
He's just like wiping crappy diapers. Like people are talking about how smart he is.
Power 10 Sports says Robinson was good, so it makes no sense for Jacksonville to take ETN. And I agree. Like that's
100%
That's
agree.
crazy. It's kind of BS for my fantasy team too. So whatever.
I don't understand that.
You don't need any more help.
He was very good last year.
He was like fantasy wise, he was top 4 running back.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
So hey, let's put it in. What are we doing?
I'm saying Bateman.
I'm seeing Bateman from Joseph Keim.
Yeah, I think we're going Bateman.
I think we're going JOK.
Andrew said, hold my diaper. I like it. I like it. Man,
Oh,
okay.
that's awesome.
I want Morg. I want him.
Yeah.
I want him, but I think we're taking Bateman. But I want Morg.
I'll go with that.
I won't be upset. Like either way, like, even if they hit Newsome, I won't.
If
be
they
upset.
have a high value on receiver,
Newsome's the one guy probably.
Barmore's still there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset with like anybody because they didn't reach on.
Well, and you
anybody.
said it too, Blake. Though they could easily trade back up and pick at 28 or 29 here and take Trevon Morg if he keeps slipping.
My thing is, if we're going to go with a secondary player here, I want Morg. I don't.
Yeah.
I want Morg over Newsome. If we're going receiver, Bateman, and if we go edge, I mean, there's plenty of good edge rushers out. Aziz is out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's who the fans wanted.
Yeah.
In our Twitter poll.
Yeah, but they didn't know everybody else is still going to be on the board.
This is true.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's true. I just gave him edge rusher choices.
Somebody tweeted out with the 25th pick, the Jaguars select Clemson. The rest of it. I mean, they took the two guys that have been carrying them the last 3 years.
Pick is in.
Pick is in. All right, I'm just waiting.
Pick is in for the Browns?
I'm waiting for it to pop up on.
I have pick is in.
Yep. Man, I feel like
I got a lot of nervous
we've been
energy.
sitting here for hours waiting for this.
Yeah. Thanks to all you guys sticking it out.
A lot of people
4+
saying that
hours.
the Buffalo Bills just got screwed over by them taking ETN that he would have probably, could you imagine, having him to that offense? That's what they needed.
Well, hell, trade for their running back. They don't need both of them.
Right. All right, Brownies, what are we doing here?
Come on now.
Man.
Please be
Pick
Rashad Bateman.
Pick is in.
Hey,
You got it?
I have it, yeah.
Announce it, Justin. It only makes sense that you would be the guy.
So, with the 26th pick, the Browns take Greg Newsome.
Greg Newsome. The one guy we didn't want. I mean,
fits the need.
Man,
We'll see.
I guess we'll see, but
okay.
All this excitement, more Bateman, one of these edge rushers. How do you guys feel right now? I kind of feel like there's so much hype, and then
I got to switch back over to the chat here. I got to see what people are saying. Maybe they haven't heard yet. Oh, Greg Newsome. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I know Barry's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, you know what?
I mean, there's still.
Here's the thing.
Trade back up. There's a lot of.
Pro Football Focus has this guy. He was the third-ranked corner.
Yeah.
So.
But he was also projected third round.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. I just got it on Twitter, so that's what it's going to be.
That's the one.
Man, I'm not happy.
Oh.
Not with everything that was on the board.
Snap Malloy loves it, but a lot of people in the chat.
Bum, thanks, Davey.
DF says he's not mad about it. Fitz can play a lot of different positions.
It just felt like with guys like Samuel or that Elijah Molden, some of these guys later on.
The guy from Syracuse.
Syracuse, yeah, that we could have taken. Was that Andre Cisco?
I forget.
They had Kelvin Joseph from
I'm
Kentucky out there. Yeah,
just taking the headset off. I'm going to get Cleveland's reaction here in the crowd.
Oh, they're just letting the fan make the pick here, but
we already know. We're on the up and up. We're on the know.
This little girl just wrecked our draft by making this pick here.
Yeah.
John Nye says, I'm not sure, but Barry knows more than I do, though. True. You're an idiot. Just playing. If for anybody who knows us, John's a close friend. I don't just call everybody who listens to us idiots.
All right. Well, happy draft night, everybody.
I guess, we'll hang out here for one more second. We'll see, the people here at Hoodletown haven't got to hear this yet, and the people in Cleveland haven't got to hear yet. So let's get their live reaction here.
Did somebody just say who?
Somebody just went, wait, what?
Yeah, so, the crowd doesn't seem too upset with it in Cleveland based on the TV coverage. But
yeah, but you can't see any of their faces, so I can't tell.
It's not
been drinking for 5 hours. Yeah,
going,
it's not the overwhelming pick that I think we wanted.
No.
Tells me that they don't have a ton of faith in Greedy also.
That, and man, some of the guys you passed up on, Morg, Bateman, Barmore.
So here is what's going to get me more okay with this pick. If we don't sit at 59, if we move back up, even late first, which I'm not going to still be.
What's happening.
Any of the receiver talk off the table though for these guys, because Bateman will go to the Ravens, and if he doesn't, he's going to New Orleans or Green Bay, and so is Elijah Moore. So maybe they're eyeing up Rondale Moore later on, Terrace Marshall. I don't know. Maybe they're going to try to come back up for one of these edge rushers. But
yeah, Newsome, I wasn't a guy that I was.
We were not high on him, but
I didn't have him penciled in as somebody that I wanted that was like best available at the time of taking him.
Snap is saying the kid's a stud. We should be excited. I will say this. I gotta go back and look into it more.
Well, and that's the thing now that because we've been trying to look at all these different prospects throughout this whole process, and he was just one that didn't fit the bill of somebody to get high hyped on for us. But now that he's been the pick, I'm definitely going to go back and watch a lot of tape.
Let's be happy.
We'll come back much more educated on Greg Newsome.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this too is more than any time in my entire life, I trusted Cleveland GM is Andrew Berry.
Yeah,
and. What Kevin Stefanski, I'm sure he had some input on this.
Yep.
So all that being said, and like I said, I want to see how the rest of the second and third round shake out.
Yep.
If we still come away with one of these top edge rushers in the second, okay.
Right, and maybe some of our not being hyped up on Greg Newsome's our Pro Football Focus analysis that we got to read. They still got this guy sitting as a third round projection is where this guy was sitting.
They all, what though? At the same time, they had
played in his zone heavy scheme.
Yeah, Jamin Davis, who was picked 2 hours ago.
He said he's got very patient zone eyes, not getting caught out of position, exceptional at playing deep to shallow, allowed 1 catch on 15 targets of 10-plus yards in 2020. Good length for the position, already plays catch point well, feet that can dance, no clunkiness to his game. But he's got very little closing juice. A lot of sitting high on top of routes. Saw very little legit wide receiver talent outside of the Ohio State game. And he's not a big corner. Slate frame.
What's his measurables?
6'1", 190.
Okay.
He's decent size.
Not bad.
Typical corner size.
He's not 5'10", 180 like Samuel, so.
He ran a 4.38 40 though.
That's fast.
That's fast, especially for a big guy. So, well, I think we probably got to wrap this up.
Yeah, we'll wrap this puppy up.
Out here. So, awesome night, guys.
Yeah,
this was super fun. We've got to give a big shout out to Hoodletown for hosting us. The Tuscarawas County Browns backers helped us organize this, donated a lot of prizes. Ian Murphy from Murphy & Company Insurance donating the signed Kareem Hunt jersey that we raffled off tonight. Huge shout out to producer over here. What's his name again, guys?
Oh,
I'm just joking. Kyle. We got to give a big
Great
shout out
job.
to Kyle. He freed Josh up tonight, and this was a lot of high-tech stuff. We've never done anything like this as far as a live thing, so he did an awesome job. This was a ton of fun. Thank you guys for being with us all night. This would have sucked real bad if there was one person watching and nobody commenting. So awesome job by you guys for staying up all night. We can't wait to see how the rest of this draft shakes out. We're not going to be live tomorrow, but I'm sure once the Browns start making picks, we might even hop into a Zoom or something and do a quick reaction depending on what we do. Be on the lookout for that, and we'll be putting out an episode this weekend. So again, thank you for being here with us. Thanks to everybody who made this event possible, and we'll see you guys all this weekend.
Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Renneker, Zach Kopp, Justin Charles, and Josh All.